realize I still forgot to take ibuprofen.
Oh,
go ahead.
Okay.
She's aggressively taking ibuprofen over there.
Was it
It's
just
fine.
like in your pocket in the nude?
Yes.
Yeah.
Gross.
Do you know how much ibuprofen I've taken in my life?
Yeah, no, me too, but like
I don't even care anymore.
it's just
I'll
jingling.
pick it off the floor and eat it. Welcome to Recapping Romantasy, hot takes on hot literature. Who are we?
We are me, Emma.
I am Maura.
And I am Tabitha. Recapping Romantasy contains mature content from fairy smut to dragon rider torture to monster genitalia. Be sure to check the episode notes for content warnings and the links to our socials. All right, does anybody have anything to open with?
No, I never come with a topic to start. It just comes to me naturally, organically.
Speaking of a curse carved in bone, I broke a bone on Friday, so that's fun. Fun for me.
Yeah, but you won't get it fixed.
No.
She's going to walk around here with fractured limbs.
It's fine. Everything is fine. It's just like the fourth toe I've broken. It's cool.
I've never broken a toe or a bone.
Yeah, it's a trip.
I don't think I've ever broken a bone. Not that I can remember.
No, but speaking of feet stuff, you did have a gross toe for a while.
I did.
I did lose a toenail.
Yeah, she
I also
would,
did have dysentery once in my life. That's fun.
like,
Were they
marched
related?
in.
No, not at all.
Oh, no.
I actually have no idea how the toenail thing happened.
No one does.
I
just
do know
that-
how the dysentery happened.
Anyways, we are here to talk about A Curse Carved in Bone, which is the second book in the Saga of the Unfated. And there's only two. It's a duology.
Mm-hmm.
We
Who's
covered
the author?
Danielle L. Jensen.
Thank you. I knew there was an L in there somewhere. So we're here to talk about, as we said, the second book of the Saga of the Unfated by Danielle L.
Jensen.
Whew. We covered the first book of Fate Inked in Blood about a year ago, which is crazy that we've been doing this for like over a year.
I know.
Been
Wild.
doing this for going on 2 years, I
I
believe.
know.
February will be 2 years.
February will be
yeah, so
two.
it's like two and a half.
Mhm.
What?
I
One
know.
and a half.
That's all right.
I don't know what math is. Time.
Well, we were just talking about we don't understand time.
No,
So.
that's why I'm late to this every single time.
Hmm.
If Tabitha's ever tense at the beginning, it's usually because it's my fault for being late.
And she's been eating mozzarella sticks.
Yes,
Yeah, I have.
she has to get here late and then eat, and then we can record.
Yeah, but I usually only eat like one mozzarella stick.
Mm.
And then we have the rest of them just sitting on the table all the
Yeah.
time. So
Sorry.
with her honey mustard, which does not go with mozzarella sticks.
Yes,
but they're still there.
I went out of my way to get her snacks, and she complained about the sauce I chose.
I didn't know that you asked for honey mustard.
And then she
I
was
thought they just
late.
picked the wrong sauce. I'm sorry. I had to let a dog out. She was in a onesie because she got spayed, and it was like... anyways. Okay.
Life is hard, is what we're trying to say.
These are all first world problems, and they're all my fault. Anyways, a quick recap of what I remember about the first book. So all of this takes place in a Viking world where humans have special powers because the gods are very into cuckolding and also voyeurism, I guess. So, like, when the humans fuck, the gods either watch or sometimes actively participate, which gives the human baby a drop of God's blood and thus some of their powers.
This does seem like a really chaotic way for demigods to be conceived. And I mean, comparatively, I guess, I growing up and being obsessed with Greek mythology, not other mythology, like Zeus did actually conceive Perseus with a woman by impersonating a golden shower, which is very weird. But I kind of still feel like if you're just going to sit there and watch two people have sex, how does that actually get a drop of God's blood literally anywhere? But that's just me asking questions.
The vibes.
Yeah, vibes.
How do you impersonate a golden shower? I'm sorry.
He could transform into
He can
different shapes.
yeah.
So, like,
He
was
could
he-
become just like a mist if he wanted to.
In
Yeah.
someone else's like bladder, and then like that person peed on this woman.
Zeus is just rain.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
But it's
not
with
like
golden light.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, no, the Perseus's mom is just like sitting there minding her own business, and then like a golden rain shower falls on her, and the rain is Zeus, and I guess some of that rain just happened to go into her vagina and create
Yeah,
Perseus.
you know how it is.
I was like, okay, so someone's really into piss play, and apparently so is Zeus, but only like okay.
Look, this is not the first time Zeus has done this. Zeus is like really good at doing these things.
Yeah, I know he becomes a bird right? Like
He's
a
many
swan?
things.
He's
Yeah,
many
swan.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, we'll talk about that next book probably.
The Norse didn't really have a lot of demigods in their myth. It wasn't a thing that they generally did.
Oh.
The only god/human hybrids I can think of were some like heads of dynasties who would say their claim to power is that they were Odin's son.
Oh, that's cool.
But in terms of method, I would say this is very straightforward for Norse mythology because it can get pretty weird sometimes. For example, do you know how the world was created in Norse mythology?
No.
No? Okay, well, I'm going to tell you. So, there was a realm of fire and there was a realm of ice. In between them, there was a black void called Gnungagap.
That's a word.
Yeah. So the matter from both of these realms would flow into Gnungagap and do
I'm
this
sorry, I'm having a hard time with that.
Say it again.
Gnungagap.
Gnunu.
Gnungagap. So the constant freeze thaw kind of exploded into the first being, a giant named Ymir. He is giant. He's not a giant. It's hard to know what to call him.
Okay.
But this being could reproduce asexually and started making a bunch of other evil, quote unquote, giants. Also around the same time, a cow came out of the ice named Adhumla, and Ymir drank its milk. It's like kind of how he survived, was off of this cow.
Okay.
Which is part of a whole canon of primeval bovines throughout different mythologies, like the whole concept of the sacred bull.
Yeah, it's a big one. Yeah.
Yeah, cows were just really important to humans when we figured out how to domesticate them.
Yeah.
So then Adhumla licks away a bunch of frost that is in this realm and exposes Buri, who is the first Aesir. An Aesir is a...
You really go hard with that word.
Don't make fun of me. I'm putting some sauce on it.
You're really putting sauce on that.
I'm just like...
Honey mustard, if you will.
Say, yeah.
The Aesir were one of the two major pantheons of gods. The other ones were the Vanir. For example, Freya was a Vanir.
Okay.
And Thor was an Aesir. There's not a real clear distinction between who is who and why, but it seems like the Vanir were more associated with fertility and crops and stuff like that, and the Aesir were more associated with war and strength. So we have Buri, and then Buri has a son named Bor, who marries a giantess named Besla, and then they have 3 sons named Vili, Ve, and Odin. We know Odin. This is when there's somebody you've heard of before.
Sure. We're getting to where we understand.
So then these 3 brothers decide that they have to kill Ymir because he will not stop shitting evil giants out of his armpits.
What the fuck?
You know what?
Yeah, exactly.
That makes sense to me.
So they kill him and they use the corpse of Ymir to make the world as we know it. Blood is the oceans, his hair is the trees, his bones the mountains, and his brains the clouds, etc.
Barf.
Mm-hmm. That's the world that we live in.
That is a gross mythology.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
That was a lot.
It was a lot.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay, you can continue now.
I know.
Emma.
I thought I had a burp. Sorry. As this is a Viking world, the gods are Norse, pagan. I'm not sure because I was raised Catholic and I only know about Norse gods in quotes because I watched the Marvel movies, and I can feel your judgment over here after that really long story of the beginning of the world.
We are 2 spectrums.
So Norse is the word that's used for the broadly similar cultures in Scandinavia in the early medieval period.
Got it.
Whereas Viking is more like an occupation.
Got it.
It was the groups of people from this region who engaged in seafaring businesses like raiding of villages and trading with people. So a good way to think of it is all Vikings were Norse, but not all Norse were Vikings. However, we're not scholars here. This is not a scholarly podcast. Sorry, anyone who thought it was. So I'd say just go ahead and use both. I'm not gonna correct you.
Thank you, because I'm definitely going to get things wrong, and I'm definitely going to pronounce words wrong like normal, but also these words are hard for me to understand. Even if you don't know the Norse gods or much about Vikings or whatever, it doesn't really matter. This book does a pretty good job of explaining everything. But the first book gives more context. So again, we're still talking about what happened in the first book. So we're in a Viking world. There's gods. They cuck people. Then you get fancy god blood and magic. So Everyone also has like a destiny or a fate that they're forced to follow, except for these children of the gods. So the people who have like the drop of God's blood, they're called unfated. So they can change their fate. Think Merida from Disney's Brave. Actually, like, this is now the story of the first book that was all just set up. In the first book, the main character, Freya, I'm not saying the Tabitha, she's extra special, okay? She is the daughter of the goddess, Hlyn, so she can make magical shields. There's a prophecy about Freya. Basically, it says that the Shield Maiden, which is what she is, will unite the lands under the one who controls her fate, and then it will cause terrible destruction. Important to remember for later. The Jarl of her lands, Snorri, thinks that this prophecy is about him. He thinks that Freya will make him king. All of the other Jarls want Freya dead because they think if Snorri gets Freya, it will then mean their doom. By the way, Jarl is like a ruler, but not really like a king. Maybe like a shogun? I don't know.
Jarl is where we get the title of Earl in English.
That makes sense. They sound similar.
It's like a chieftain, and often they'll have authority just under that of the king, or sometimes they'll just like kind of a chieftain off on their own.
Got it. Okay. So at the beginning of book 1, Snorri finds Freya sad and married to this loser. She kills her loser husband, and then Snorri makes her come with him to fulfill the prophecy of making him king of all Vikings or whatever. Snorri's son, Bjorn, has Tyr's blood, Tyr's a god, and so Bjorn can wield this like fiery axe. When Freya kills her husband with Bjorn's fiery axe, she burns her hands, and I don't know, it like makes things romantic later on in that book. She's forced to marry Snorri, so now she's Bjorn's stepmother. But Bjorn is hot and flirty, and they end up fucking at the end of the book. So she
on gravel.
Ugh,
yeah,
so much gravel.
yeah, it's gross. A bunch of nonsense happens in the middle, but this recap is already like really long, and we have a whole book to go through. So long story short, everyone in the last book sucked. They were all like really mean and stupid to everyone, especially Freya. Freya also has Hell's blood too, so she has 2 bloods. Hell is the goddess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 2 bloods.
2 bloods.
It totally makes sense. Keep
Just 2
going.
bloods.
Yeah, it's magic. What do you want?
Yeah. So Hell is the goddess of the underworld and death. So yeah, the 2 bloods, she has powers from 2 goddesses. That's why she's the extra special. So Freya eventually realizes that everyone around her sucks, including Bjorn, because he lied to her. Bjorn was actually working for his stepfather, which was this evil king, Harold, and they were trying to steal Freya away. When she discovers this, she literally sends people to Hell, H-E double hockey sticks Hell, but also H-E-L Hell.
I would say single hockey stick hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not really HD double hockey sticks hell because it's not like we're gonna kill you and make it.
I can
awful
tell
for
you more about
in
this when we
eternity.
talk about Valhalla.
Okay. Perfect.
It's like there will be more academia later.
Yeah. Prepare yourselves. She has a citation at the beginning of our notes. Anyways, Freya's pissed off. She sends everyone to Hell, and then she tries to run away, but is captured by Bjorn and his evil stepfather, Harold. Did I miss anything?
Good recap.
That's
Okay.
basically it.
Yeah, that's all right.
So we pick up literally where we left off. Freya is on the ship to Nordland, where Harold is king. She is big mad about it, which, like, who wouldn't be? So she's running her mouth off at everyone, and Harold is really over her attitude, even though, like, he's the one who kidnapped her,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, does this bitch ever shut up? And Bjorn's like, no, she's literally always like this. And Bjorn is sad about this because he and Freya are on the outs. Remember, they fucked at the end of last book. She found out he lied, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm. I loved how bitchy she was in the first part of this book. I've been wanting one of the female leads in these books to just be unapologetically bitter and mean with reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, agree. The unrepentant anger is incandescent, and I love it.
Yeah, she's really like a petty teen right now.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, like apparently, like until like everybody's like vomiting and stuff because it's really rough seas, and she's like, "Ha ha, you all suck."
Yeah.
Mhm.
She's like using her shield to protect her from the elements, and everyone else is literally shitting their pants.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So they arrive in Nordland. Again, this is where Harold is king. And Bjorn, as I said, he's deep in his feels. He loves Freya and doesn't want anything bad to happen to her, but he's also the reason why Harold has her and bad things might happen. So Harold can sense the emo teen energy radiating off of Bjorn, and he's like, son, get your head out of your dick and focus. You are supposed to kill her. Your mom, who is a powerful fortune teller, saw the future. Freya is going to destroy everything. stop being sad. Bjorn argues that Snorri is actually the one who should die instead. If Snorri's dead, he can't control Freya and become king. But Harald isn't having it. He's like, Freya is the evil one because she has Hel's blood. Hel is the goddess of Helheim, as we said, kind of like HE double hockey sticks. So Freya needs to die. We're really kind of like going back and forth with who actually needs to die for most of this book.
That's really true.
Yeah. And again, Bjorn tells Harald that if he kills Freya, he'll have to kill Bjorn too, because he's big, emotional boy right now.
Mm-hmm.
So then Harald says, and I had to quote this because it pissed me off, warriors who laugh in the face of death will run from Freya, for she has the power to deny them Valhalla. Yet, this is not what terrifies me about her. It is her rage.
I feel like that's something he would be terrified about. Though.
Right? Like, not actually going to hell, but like an angry woman.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he's a weak pussy bitch.
Because, yeah, angry women scare everyone. Because, like, you're not supposed to feel anger. You're a woman.
Yeah.
How dare you?
You have to just be happy all the time. Anyways, Bjorn says, okay, well, I'll try to save Freya and stop Snorri, despite what you want to say.
I have a lot to say about Valhalla.
Mm-hmm,
You want to hear it?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah.
Now or later.
Whenever you want
Okay,
to.
so first of all, the more accurate way it would have been pronounced was probably something like Walhun.
Oh.
But whatever.
I'm not doing that.
So the thing about the Norse is we don't actually know most of anything about them, really. Like, there's only very few written things, and they're usually like monuments or like receipts found in harbor towns. Like, the documents that are written about, like, how they live their daily lives or how they believed in the gods are all either from, like, sources from visitors outside of the culture.
Yeah.
Or sources afterwards, hundreds of years afterwards. We had kind of a Christian bent on it, and that's
Okay.
why we don't know what Helheim is like, is because we think that Snorri Sturluson kind of put some Christian spin on it, and that's why it sounds a little like hell with two L's.
Yeah.
But this book keeps mentioning Valhalla over and over again as the place you go when you die in battle.
Yeah.
Actually,
She just put her fingers so close to my face during that, actually.
people who died in battle, half of them went to Valhalla, but half of them went to Freya's realm, which was a hall in a meadow that I want to say was called Folkvangar or something like that.
You could make it up, and I would still say yeah.
So yeah, like that's a thing that we know is that they actually split the dead in battle between these two places, although you never hear that mentioned. The other one we kind of know is that people who drowned go to the goddess of the sea, Ran, and her kingdom, and then everything else is kind of a mystery. Like, there's a lot of evidence for the Dragar, that come up in
like,
this
ghost
story
people?
later.
Yeah.
The like zombie / revenants. Like, that was the thing they believed in. Like, they lived in like mountains and shit. But they figure people had to go somewhere after they died. They thought they went somewhere after they died. Because the one thing that we know is that they would bury people as though it meant something, like with grave goods.
Yeah.
So the Norse clearly thought something happened to you when you died. We just really don't know what that is. We don't know where women went pretty much at all.
Yeah. In this book, it's basically like there's two places you can go.
Right.
Which is Valhalla. And listen, I'm not saying it in the way that you pronounced it because I'm trying to be uncultured. It's because I don't think my brain can compute that spelling with that pronunciation. So you can either go to Valhalla or Helheim, which Helheim is not like necessarily bad in this book. It's just like if you're a Viking and you go there, it's bad because it means like you died with dishonor, basically.
Yeah, it means that
in
you
this
can't
book,
go,
that's how it kind of is read.
It means you can't go fight later in the Battle of Ragnarok or whatever. That's all it means.
Yeah. Okay.
I do believe the people in Helheim actually do fight in Ragnarok,
Oh, see?
but
On the bad
side.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was going to say, isn't Hel, Hel, in Ragnarok? Again, this is all context from the movie.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
she
yes,
is in Ragnarok.
I'll talk about it. I'll talk about it later when I talk about Naglfar.
Okay.
Like we know what that is. But go on.
Yeah. Okay. So they landed on Nordland. They're off this boat now. A random warrior named Guthrum. No.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Or are you just letting me have that one?
No, that's
I
it.
think that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a warrior named Guthrum tells them, this is Harald, Bjorn, etc., tells them that Snorri is looking for Freya and Bjorn. So everyone freaks out. Guthrum knows all this because he has blood from Jord, and this allows him to connect his mind to his animal familiars and see what they see. He's usually connected to a bird whose name is Kaja.
I think it's Kaya.
Kaya?
I totally went with Kaja. But
Okay, I did too.
I listened to the audiobook.
Did you?
Got it.
Okay.
And
Is that
granted, it was a while ago, but I seem to recall that was how they
Kaya.
pronounced it.
Kaya. Got it.
Because it reminded me of the other book we read where the royal guards were called Kaya.
Taste of Golden Iron?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So Freya talks to Tora, who is a child of Thor, so she can wield lightning.
Do you want to know how to pronounce that name?
I know it's a Tapdar. Tora.
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 So yeah, she killed Freya's friend in the last book.
Yeah.
So Freya has beef with her. But I really enjoyed how their relationship played out over the course of this book. So FYI, I'm gonna keep tabs on that one.
Yeah, I liked Tora in this book. Tora. She learns that Tora didn't want to be a warrior, even though she has this power. But Harold killed her uncle, who was a, quote, bad man who did bad things. So Tora has been a warrior for Harold ever since. And Freya gets bad vibes about this.
Yeah, she gets bad vibes pretty frequently throughout the course of this book.
And she ignores a lot of them, which is why I find this book so frustrating. Then they see smoke and notice that the Islanders are attacking. These Islanders are evil Vikings who enslave children. They're bad news. Freya refuses to fight for Harold, so she sits this one out. On top of that, it's a tough fight for the rest of them because during the last book, Freya sent most of Harold's warriors to Helheim, so the only ones that are left are the Unfated because they did not get sent down below. At some point, Tora and Farah... What?
Yeah.
The amount of time in my notes when I was writing, I wrote Farah instead of Freya was so fucking annoying. And the only reason why I noticed it is because I added Freya to my dictionary. And then I was like, why is this spelled wrong? It shouldn't be.
No, when I put the Instagram post, I'm having such a hard time with words today, you guys.
Me too.
When I put the Instagram post on that we were reading this, I put Freya, and I was like, damn it.
It's that book is like prolific. It's just like takes over the culture. At some point, Tora and Freya were in a boat that was capsized. I don't exactly remember how this happened, especially because Freya said she didn't want to fight, but whatever. They're now in this water, and killer whales are attacking them at the command of an unfated Islander.
That's the kind of shit her ex-husband would do, fucking around with the fish.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he had the same power,
Yes,
right? Yeah.
he did. So on land, Bjorn tries to save Freya by killing the Islander who's controlling like Shamu. But Tora shoots him with lightning before Bjorn can kill him, kind of like taking it from him. The fight is over, and as people go to help the nearby village, Freya stays back. She sees some Islanders dragging village children to their ships. By the time Harold and crew notice, the Islanders are sailing away with the children. So Tora says that she can sink the whole boat, but the children might die. And Harold's like, well, some of the children can swim. Maybe that's fine. It's bad. He's fine with people just being drowned. Freya uses Hel's power to drag the Islanders to Helheim and saves the children. But she swore that she would never use her evil powers again, except she was doing it this time for the children. After the battle, Harold tells Freya that maybe she doesn't need to die. Nice. So she can fight against her fate, but she and Bjorn say that they should talk to Bjorn's mom, Saga. Saga is the one who saw the prophecy about Freya destroying everyone and commanded Bjorn and Harold to kill Freya. So, she's a good person for Freya to talk to. Freya talks to Steinen.
A lot of names in here.
I know, there's so many names. I can't remember what god she gets her powers from, but that doesn't really matter. Steinen has the power to sing like a bard, like not just to sing, but her songs make you see the exact events that happened. She basically puts memories into other people's heads. Steinen says that all she wants is revenge on Snorri because he attacked her village and killed her husband and son. And then also, she's a coward because she won't sing about what happened to her with her village and her husband and son. And they won't shut the fuck up about her being a coward. It's really fucking annoying.
Who would her patron god be? Would it be Bragi?
I didn't write it down.
I think they mentioned at the beginning of the book one, forever ago.
Yes.
But I don't recall. But also the reveal that she refuses to sing about their death is such a huge tell that something is off here. I was on the edge of my seat. I was like, I was waiting for the reveal. Like, just sing about it, damn it.
I wasn't, because I was so confused as to who the fuck she was for the longest time. Because they call her Steinen, and then they also call her, like, basically the Viking word for bard.
Yeah.
But they don't, like, explain it at all again. In the first book, they explain it, but not again here.
Yeah, Steinen was the one who was working for Harold the entire time in the first book.
Yes.
And she was following her around being like a bitch about like, you have to tell me everything because I need all the details. And why don't you tell me everything? I need everything. I need everything. And she's like, shut up. I don't want to tell you everything. And at the very end of book 1, there was something about red shoelaces that were Steinen's shoelaces. And I'm like, I completely do not know what you're talking about right now. But apparently it was a big reveal.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
Now I'm over here wondering if they had shoelaces.
Yeah.
Well, they were apparently red, and Steinen had them.
So Bjorn finds Freya as she's walking back to camp, and for some reason he's like butt-ass naked. He's butt-ass naked a lot in this book, and he basically just tells her not to trust Harold, and then she tells him to fuck off.
Yeah, as she should.
So they're back on the boat, and they sail to Hrafnheim. This is where Harold's fortress is, and all of his people are happy to see him. Freya is surprised to see that Hrafnheim is warded for protection. Plus, it's like technologically advanced. It's got a moat and drawbridges. The people are happy. They're well fed. And she's like, what's going on? She's like, great place you got here, but also you told me I could see Saga. I want to go now. Harold tells her fine, but Bjorn will go with you. And also Harold's 2 pet wolves will go with them as well.
The wolves are a little magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can understand people.
Yeah, because they've got runes. Well, they can only understand Harold.
Yeah.
True.
Because they've got runes on them. So before they leave, Bjorn talks with one of his friends, and he asks his friend if he has heard from Saga. And his friend's like, you know what? I haven't seen her since you left, Bjorn. Which is suspicious. But also, Saga lives in the middle of nowhere, so she doesn't like have to see everyone's future. So it's not that uncommon to not see her.
You know, I was suspicious when she lived in the middle of nowhere. I was like, how would that actually work? This super hot, fine bone woman.
I mean, I'm assuming that people are like walking up to give her shit and coming back down. Like, she didn't look like she was doing a whole lot of subsistence farming.
Well, we'll learn why. Also, like, when they're in the sauna, they talk about her breasts like so much. Why do we
such firm breasts?
Like I said, the reveal that happens made me feel so much better because I was like, why is this getting so fucking weird?
Yes.
Yeah. So on their way to Saga, Freya and Bjorn flirt a little, and he's still hot with 2 T's. And, you know, she just can't help but look.
As you do. But honestly, I was expecting some sort of we're so horny, we shouldn't, but we will sex in this book, which didn't happen because Bjorn has morals now that aren't all about revenge. But, like, I was kind of sad that didn't happen.
Yeah, me too.
So do you know a certain cosmetic thing that we knew Vikings would do to, you know, make themselves look cool?
Shave their head?
We don't know
Tattoos?
about that. We kind of maybe know about tattoos, not 100% sure. But one thing we know for sure they did, because there's evidence of it on
Took their teeth
skeletons,
out.
they would carve
I'm just
their
guessing.
teeth, like into the side of their teeth. They would carve like notches
What
or
the fuck?
shapes. Yeah.
Okay, I had this thought for the next book that we're going to talk about. There's no way that bitch has teeth. Like, she's been homeless
Listen,
for so long.
If we had to talk
And I
about the
literally-
teeth
I
of all these
literally-
characters,
Yeah.
I would love to sit down and talk about the teeth of every single character that we have talked about on this podcast.
You know,
do
they
we
said-
think they had good dental
She
care?
literally has a line somewhere where she's like, and I used a toothbrush, and I've had to pick up toothbrushes off the floor that were used. And I'm like, where the fuck are you that people are putting toothbrushes on the floor, just
No.
like littering them?
No one is talking about dental
You know-
hygiene in these books, and they should.
They say
No,
that
they talk about it in A Taste of Golden Iron because I distinctly remember
I don't.
that they
I
were
don't
like,
count that book.
oh, I'm chewing on this minty branch, and
I
I'm like,
do
get
not
the fuck out of
count
here.
that book because
And you
it
know
is so
what?
full of details. It's
I'm
a
happy
class
it
of its
happened.
own. Yes, but
Hindsight's 2020. Give me more
different class of book.
dental hygiene in these books.
pre the modern era, they say people's teeth weren't great, but they weren't that bad because they didn't use sugar in as much.
Yeah.
They said if there were problems, it was more like due to trauma, you know, like getting your teeth kicked in by a horse or something,
Yeah.
falling.
Yeah.
Not like mental
Or-
trauma, just
Right.
so stressed your teeth fall
physical
out.
trauma. Or like they just, you know, if you needed braces or something, obviously there was nothing like that. So
Yeah.
lots of crooked teeth. So
Yeah.
like
Like the
was
British
bad,
people
but
now.
not as bad as you like perceive of it until the Columbian Exchange, and that's when it started to get real ugly, and you started to get cavities a lot.
because
Yeah.
the sugar.
I'm
Yeah.
just like the amount of straight perfect teeth that I'm expected to think of.
Yeah,
Just
people
drives me
generally
crazy.
like a lot of people need braces.
But a lot of it is like cosmetic braces.
Yeah. Oh yeah. A lot of it's cosmetic, but
I've had braces, so
but I don't
many
know.
times.
All I can think about right now is the sheer amount of AI art that for the Sarah J. Maas's books that
Oh yeah,
pump out with the same
with their veneers.
person.
Yeah.
They've got veneers. They've got like the dewy skin, the very clearly ChatGPT generated slop, and I'm like,
I believe we talked about this last time about how natural teeth are a lot hotter.
yeah, and they should be.
Mm-hmm.
Veneers are gross. Don't do it.
Yeah,
to
They
it
just
yourself.
starts to
weird
get
me
to an
out.
uncanny valley area.
Yes, exactly. So they're on their way, but they actually, I forgot they had to stop at this blacksmith.
Gita, I wanna
Gita?
say?
Okay, cool. So the stop at the blacksmith, Gita. She's also a child of God. Everyone's a child of God, basically, in Harold's little realm. She gives Freya a shield that is magicked to weigh nothing, and also a seax.
Yes, the X.
Phew. I've never said that word out loud. Which is like a sort of short sword. And then also her dad's sword. I don't know. She was like a bit sad about losing it because it was like the last thing that she had from her family. But also like they
Yeah,
were
her
terrible.
shit-ass family.
Yeah, they were
Right.
they were so bad to her. So I think she should just throw the sword into the ocean. But whatever.
I really wish we'd gotten some indication of what her father was like.
No, because we would know he sucked then.
Right. Since I'm forced to assume that he was just as terrible as her mom and her brother. I mean, there's some indication that he wasn't as much of a piece of shit, but also he did kind of help sell her off to Vragi or whatever his name was.
Yeah.
So I kind of think he probably was a piece of shit. He's dead. It's
I
probably one
think-
of those we don't think bad things of the dead.
Almost everyone in this book is a piece of shit. Just
Yeah, I mean, they
Prepare
start to come
yourself.
around at the end. There's
Yeah,
a
they do.
reason why they're the way they are.
there is.
But you spend a lot of this book being like, why is everyone such an asshole?
Yeah. People are such magnificent assholes in this book. And then, there is a twist. So
Mm-hmm. So finally, they're on their way to Saga. They stop because they see this like woman laying on the ground in the middle of the woods, and she's very interested in Bjorn. And Freya feels just a little jealous.
Are they on foot at this point?
No,
Or
they're on horses.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was going to write down at what speed they were horse riding, and then I was like, I don't want to open.
I don't
want
wanna
to
get into that again.
Yeah,
No, we were already deep in the Viking hole, so
Yeah.
we can't go in the horse hole too.
No.
We can't do that.
no. So they've stopped. They help this woman. She scanters off. Whatever. She runs off. Scanter's not a word.
Yeah.
Is it?
Scanters. So
Well-
she scanters
Well,
away.
we find out she's not human, so yeah, she scanters.
That's what you do when you scamper on horseback.
Yeah.
She runs off. And Bjorn's like, well, if we're going to stay here, I'm going to go take a little bath. He's gone for just like a little too long. So Freya goes and looks for him. When she finds him, he's in this river and he's watching this lady who was laying on the floor nakedly dance as she sings to Bjorn.
So every single time I hear about somebody like erotically dancing for someone, I always think of Deacon's erotic dance and What We Do in the Shadows.
No,
Yes.
I've never seen it.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to watch this clip afterwards.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to assume that it's good.
It's hilarious.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It does have a lot of the vibes are perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah. And if you think about what he's doing in the clip and replace him with
This random woman.
This woman, yeah.
this random woman and Bjorn staring at her,
Yeah.
just in the way that the two vampires are watching him, it's perfect.
Yeah.
I cannot wait. Maybe we'll link it in our show notes if we remember.
Yes.
Probably not, because I'm the one who does it.
It's right there, Emma. I put it right there. You
Yeah,
just grab it.
but I don't scroll down. So this woman nakedly dancing tells Bjorn that she wants him to fuck her. And as she does this, Freya sees a tail appear and is like, something ain't right here. Then the woman lays back and spreads her legs and lips, vaginal.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
You're
That's-
welcome. That's a callback to this book that we're reading right now.
Yeah.
So she spreads her legs and lips for Bjorn and is like, come here, boy. And he tells the woman that he only loves Freya, but is like, he's stuck in this woman's spell. So he's still slowly walking forward
I was starting thinking maybe she like winks her lips at him.
with her fingers. Like, how does she do that?
Well, it's something that mayors can do.
Oh God.
Yeah, I'm not going down the hole. I won't keep going.
I mean,
Don't.
those are muscles you can learn to flex.
Your labia?
Yeah.
What the fuck are we talking about?
I'm sorry. I said something I shouldn't have.
It's
and
okay.
It sent us down a road.
She just wanted us to talk about horses
I
so
did.
bad.
I really needed to put one in. Sorry, keep going.
So anyways, this woman is winking with whatever part of her body at Bjorn. And Freya's like, something's not right here. So she realizes that this woman is a Holdra. Cool. Which is like a creature that seduces men. She's like made out of wood and whatever, a bunch of shit. It doesn't matter. The woman transforms into this like tree-like monster, and then they all battle it out. Bjorn is fighting naked again, but he throws his axe and it lights this woman on fire, and she disintegrates into nothing. And yay, they won! Woo!
Fighting with your dick and balls out sounds so uncomfortable.
It does.
It really does. But, you know, it's something that only a true man can accomplish. Like, Bjorn is obviously the bestest man who ever manned. But I think the only reason this is happening, that he's this naked this much, is because they haven't had sex yet.
Yeah.
And that is totally why he's naked this much.
And we can't think of him as sexy with his clothes on.
I know.
obviously.
He needs to be naked, fully naked, to make us be like, you know what? They will eventually
It would
have
just be
sex. It's going to
swinging
be okay.
around. Like, that guy, did you see that video of that guy on the track race? And his dick and balls fall out of his pants.
I did.
Yes, I sent that to you.
Yeah, I know. I'm mostly saying this for Mara's sake.
I
Did
know
you
of,
see it?
I know of it, yes.
Any single time you say, hey, have you seen this obscene thing? I probably sent it to you.
Yeah, I know. That's all I can think about is that's like Bjorn. Anyways,
You know, this podcast recording started so normal, and then
it did. I even took double dose, and it doesn't matter. It's just who I am as a person, I guess. So all this shit happens. They finally reach Saga's hut. Woohoo! Yay! That was great, Maura. Saga is beautiful and youthful with no wrinkles or sagging breasts, despite her being like 50.
Suspicious.
Yeah, they spent a weird amount of time talking about her breasts.
So many times.
Yeah, it's
They're so bouncy. And she's like, that's
and, like,
suspicious.
firm. Yeah, like picture Regina George's mom in the original movie. That's like the level of firm.
There is no
the
small
whole
rat
vibes
terrier.
with Saga are so weird.
Super off. Yes. She is so happy to see Bjorn, but also she's really disappointed that he didn't kill Freya like he was supposed to. Like, welcome home, son. Why is this woman not dead?
To her face.
Yeah,
Like,
literally.
you were supposed to be dead. That person there, my son, was supposed to kill you. Can
Yep.
you imagine that conversation happening right
Welcome
in
to
front
my
of you?
home. I wish you were deceased. Amazing vibes. Bjorn tells her that if she wants to kill Freya, he will kill his mom. Like, I'll kill you too if you kill her. Blah, 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 blah. Everyone needs to die. The drama.
Yeah, going back to the vibes, I was so confused by the vibes that Saga was putting off here. Like, I was expecting neutral good or something, and instead I got neutral evil, which was so strange. But again, like I said, it all makes sense eventually. We'll get there.
Yeah. So they go see her, and they're basically trying to figure out if Freya's fate has changed. Like, will she kill everyone? They find out her fate has not changed. So in order to change your fate, Freya, you must go against your true nature, whatever the fuck that means. Freya is understandably very frustrated by this.
God, yes. I wanted her to be like, what the fuck does that mean, Saga?
Yeah.
Like, in plain English, tell me.
No. No. That would be too easy, Maura. So her and Saga relax over some wine in the sauna. And what's more relaxing than trauma dumping?
They get so smashed.
They do. They get really drunk.
I was like, this is also really weird.
Yeah.
Vibes are weird.
Yeah. Do they drink like, and I was picturing they had like red wine. I don't know why. It's like mead, right?
They would probably have wine.
Or beer?
Well, again, remember, this is fantasy.
Whatever.
So they can have whatever. But they would probably have wine because one of the things they were really big on was trading.
Yeah, they were always in the Mediterranean moving around. So they
Yeah.
would have had all access to that. So it would have been like deeply fortified wine.
Do you know that the Vikings once held siege over the city of Paris for like a year? They went up the river and just took it over and ultimately were paid off to leave.
They just go somewhere else.
That makes sense. I had to take one history class when I was studying French. And it was either like prehistoric to modern, or like not modern, but basically like when Napoleon becomes important, or Napoleonic era to present. And I took that one, Napoleonic era to present.
Really? I would never.
It's just what worked out with my schedule, which is crazy because I also had to take like a normal history class too. So they're trauma dumping, and Saga tells Freya her story. From early on, Snorri and Harold visited Saga to learn about their futures. Snorri wanted to hear about himself, but Saga could not see Harold's future. She was young and she was horny, so she started fucking them both, not at the same time, until they found out that she was sleeping with the other. Snorri and Harold were originally friends, and during the story, Freya asked if Saga cared about ruining their friendship, to which she says, their friendship was fraught, but discovering that they shared me drove a wedge between them that escalated tension between Nordland, which is Harold's land, and Skaland, Snorri's land. So basically, Saga did create this war.
And no hate or anything. It's fine. Do what you want to do. This was when I was like, man, Saga's freakier than I thought.
Again, the vibes. The vibes
yeah,
are so off.
Also, not just doing it, it's telling.
Yeah. And actually seeming excited about it. Yeah, I'm telling my son's girlfriend that I fucked around with these two guys and I caused the war. And it was so awesome.
Yeah. She literally was like, one man is not enough to sate me. Yeah. Oh, okay, girl. Eventually, because she's fucking all these people, Saga got knocked up by Snorri. And how did she know that this baby was Snorri's? Anyways, Snorri told her that she needed to stop seeing Harold, even though Snorri was married to another woman, Ylva. So, double standards galore. She was like, fine, I'll tell Harold. It's over. So she did. She knew that Bjorn, which was this baby from Snorri, had fire powers, but that it was going to cause destruction. So she forbid Bjorn from saying Tyr's name, since, saying the god's name activates their power like there's some anime character. A few years... Yeah. Well, and also in Sailor Moon, they all have, really... for lack of a better word, gay things to say. If you think about them, separate of, the show, Moon Prism Power, Moon Tiara Magic.
Sure.
So, Bjorn's not allowed to say the god's name because it'll activate his power, and Saga, knows that some destruction will happen. A few years later, so Bjorn's, a little older now, Snorri comes back and he demands to know more about his future, and then he starts to beat Saga. So little Bjorn is not happy about this, so he calls Tyr's name and he lights this cabin on fire and burns it all down. Saga and Bjorn ran to Harold for safety, and Harold raised Bjorn until he was grown and then sent him back to Snorri so he could kill Freya, which is basically where book 1 starts.
So essentially her story is the exact opposite of who we were led to believe she is as a person. Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Vibes.
Yeah. Freya's like, damn, Saga, that's dark. And Saga then goes on this really shitty rant about how Freya should forgive Bjorn because he was lying to her for her own good. That was the purpose of the story, basically. Well, and also to give more background to Snorri and Harold. But basically it was to, show that Bjorn isn't a bad kid somehow and Freya should forgive him. And Freya's like, maybe, but he could have just told me the truth before he fucked me. He was lying to me the whole time, and then we had sex and I'm not happy about it. And Saga then goes onto this whole, well, what were you wearing speech. And this is a mashup of a few quotes because this whole section was really pissing me off. Freya says, he should have waited until I knew the full truth before allowing us to be intimate. Saga, was it Bjorn who pushed you for intimacy, Freya? Or was it you who pushed him? This is a separate conversation, separate line from Saga. Quote, I do not think what my son did was right because he risked many lives, but I think that is not the same reason you believe his actions were not right. You care only about your hurt feelings, about the damage to your trust in him. You think only of yourself, and knowing that you are Hell's child, your callousness to others makes a great deal of sense to me. From Saga, but do not think that holding on to your anger makes you good and righteous, Freya. It only makes you like every other woman.
Ouch.
Yeah, I know you were losing it in this section, and the first time I read it, I could not believe how shitty Saga was. Vain and shallow and condescending, weirdly misogynistic. Yeah. I was like, we have talked for a book and a half about this woman. Bjorn obviously has such good memories of her.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Everyone is she's amazing. She's awesome.
They venerate her.
Yeah. And we get there and she's just this absolute dickhead. Yeah. We see how this plays out very shortly, but Jesus.
Yeah. Saga is as close to a religious figure as this book will willingly go for a mortal person. And yeah, she's an absolute trash bag of a human. But we do have an amazing text thread of Emma having a GIF crash out at this section, which is totally justified because Saga, as we said, sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this Saga sucks.
Indeed.
Yeah.
There is the twist to consider.
Yeah. I was really not loving it. I go on a rant in a second. I'll save it for then. Then Freya tells Saga that she keeps seeing a specter, a creepy corpse that is burned to a crisp, sometimes appears to her and speaks in riddles.
Yeah, but who could the specter be?
I-
Keep asking this question.
No idea.
Nobody knows.
Then, through their talk, Saga figures out that Freya swore an oath to Snorri in Snorri's blood. Basically, she has to protect and serve Snorri and anyone who has his blood, so that would include Bjorn and then Snorri's other son, Leif. Saga says that Bjorn could command Freya, so she would never fall under Snorri's control. Freya isn't sure about this idea, but Saga says that if she doesn't, Snorri will control her and then kill everyone. They talk for so long.
It is a long conversation.
Yeah, there's like so much stuff that gets told.
And they're drunk the entire time.
Yeah, there's not enough ping-ponging in this conversation for them to be drunk. Anyways, Saga ends the talk by telling Freya that she should forgive Bjorn and let him control her, and that will save the world. Then they both drunkenly stumble to bed. Freya goes to find Bjorn in the sauna and then tries to fuck him, but he's a gentleman now and tells her no because she's drunk. She then tells him of the oath that she made to Snorri during the last book. Bjorn is like, why the fuck would you swear that? And Freya tells him that it was either the oath or to get knocked up by Bjorn's dad.
Also, look, this woman was raised by assholes and then married off to a fish fucker.
Yeah.
She's not very street smart.
No.
She is not. And like the previous book was her learning how to be a person independently and without being controlled. So naturally she would stumble right back into being controlled. I get it. I
Yeah,
do.
Fine. Freya tells him Saga's plan, but he refuses to control her because he's a gentleman now. And I have to say, but it was really at this point that I wanted to DNF this book. I could not stand any of these characters at this point, basically except for Bjorn. And because he was the only person who was acting with logic. Everyone else was just terrible, which was just like the last book. And I didn't like the last book for that same reason. And I couldn't even root for Freya because she just kept being stupid, just like last book. The only reason why I continued was because I had to take notes. And Maura promised me that there was a happy ending.
I did during the gift crash out that was happening on my phone.
I still liked how bitchy Freya was.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, the only thing I didn't like about this was the stilted dialogue continues from the last book. Like, no one used contractions, and I hate that.
Yeah.
I just hate it. Like, use a contraction, damn it. Also, still very healthy on people saying each other's names all the time.
Yeah.
That's distracting. Otherwise, I was pretty hooked by the setup. I wanted to know how it all resolved, and I felt like the mysteries were well seated, so you knew something was deeply off about the situation, but you didn't know why. And I liked that. Like, I was very focused on the external plot this time. I was like kind of accepting of the fact that everybody was an asshole, but I think I accepted that early on in the first book too. So
Yeah, you were more okay with the first book than I was. Anyways, the next day, Bjorn confronts his mother for spewing this like psychobabble at Freya. And during this, Saga gets a vision that Snorri is on his way to attack Nordland.
Convenient.
Yeah, really
out of nowhere.
convenient.
Yeah.
Bjorn doesn't believe it. He says that it would take too long to gather an army that big and then sail to Nordland.
So much logic, that man.
Yeah, I know. Again, like, why am I rooting for a man?
It's so weird, right?
I know.
Disarming.
I don't like it. Saga and Freya are horrified that Bjorn would question Saga's vision. I hadn't said it yet, but Saga is a child of Odin, so he's basically questioning Odin himself, which is not cool. Freya decides that somehow she will kill Snorri, even though she swore an oath to him, and she can never hurt him, and also, like, Snorri can control him, or like, control Freya. What are words?
By the way, would you like to know the Old Norse word for a woman who can do magic in order to see the future?
Yes.
Is it the word that I get mad at later on?
No.
Does it start with a V?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Vulva.
Yeah. I had a crash out in here somewhere about that word, and I can't remember if I left it in. They say it so much, and again, without fucking explanation.
Yeah.
They're just like, you have to kill the vulva. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Female mutilation? Whatever.
No.
What is happening?
It's a woman who knows the magic to see the future. A vulva.
I'd hate that a lot. Again, why don't we explain it?
I don't think it's related to vulva at all. I feel like vulva is probably a Latin word.
It probably is.
I was
would need to
going-
go and look.
I know vagina is.
Yes.
Vagine.
Pretty much almost every fancy English word is Latin or Greek related.
Yeah.
You know? They get this vision. Bjorn's like, I'm calling fake news. And Freya's like, I believe it. So they rush back to Hrafnheim. I don't think that's how I said that before, but
Yeah,
whatever.
Raffenheim.
Hrafnheim, cool. So they're back. Freya tells Harold her plan, and he's like, oh my god, amazing. You kill Snorri. I'll help you. I'll do whatever you say, Freya.
Which is just so interesting in retrospect.
Yeah, it is. He's
Wow,
got-
somebody's really smart.
yeah.
Who could it be?
Bjorn is adamant that this is fucking stupid, and Harold is acting super sketchy. Bjorn says that he should kill Snorri, and then him and Freya will run away to live happily ever after.
He really wants that to happen.
Yeah, I do too.
So deep down.
But everyone else is like, boo, tomato, tomato. That's the shittiest plan I've ever heard. To Bjorn only. They love Freya's plan, though, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And Bjorn says, fine, I'll kill the vulva, that fucking stupid word, whose magic binds you, which is basically Ylva, who's Snorri's wife.
Yeah,
Again.
Ylva the vulva.
Bjorn's plan is smart, it's logical, it makes sense, it doesn't kill a lot of people, but no one likes his plan and they don't follow his plan.
Listen, these people just want a big battle. That's what they want.
I don't want it though. I'm too much of a pacifist, I
They're
guess.
all just like desperate for it.
Yeah, and listen, I know why everyone is acting stupid, like a stupid idiot right now, because I finished the book and I know what's happening. But this shit is so frustrating. Like this is
her rant, by the
yeah,
way.
this is absolutely me just being dramatic, but I get too absorbed by books and become like emotional because of them. Like I was livid this whole day I was reading this. Like when I read My Sister's Keeper when I was younger by Jodi Picoult, I couldn't look at my sister for a week without crying. Like I had to DNF the Harry Potter series because every book started with him just whining his fucking ass off about Summer and how his friends suck and they won't out him. And I'm like, bitch, you know your aunt and uncle are abusive and like stop the mail from coming. I don't know why this is a fucking surprise to you. You have 3 months of sadness and then you go back to your little magical fairy world and drink your fucking sugary fake beer shit.
Wow, Emma.
And I want to have fun while I'm reading. That's why I don't like reading horror or any of these things. And I can't have fun if I'm suffering along with all these people.
I still think that you should inquire about anxiety medication.
No,
Which I say because I used to have this problem while reading. This
No,
was
I know.
actually why I started reading romance more in 2020 during the pandemic.
yeah.
Was because I was struggling with any kind of conflict in books at all. I would get really anxious and stop reading them. And I was like, well, at least with a romance, I know it's going to end happy.
Yeah.
And when I knew it was getting really bad was when I couldn't handle the conflict in romance.
Yeah.
That's
bad.
And
Yeah.
since I have been medicated, it's gotten so much better.
Yeah. Usually I counteract this by just like reading the end. But I didn't want to do that.
That's what I've always done with fan fiction.
Yeah.
I go to the end first, see what happens.
Oh, I never do that. Fan fiction, I have like there's no hold on me. I like start and stop fan
You know,
fiction
see,
like no other.
For me, fan fiction is more when it's likely you don't know what the fuck's going to happen at the end. Like somebody might die. Like, you know, they say major character death is a warning.
I never-
But they don't always put that in.
Oh,
That's true.
yeah, that's true.
They do that sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spend my time reading fan fiction if it's going to suddenly end badly.
Yeah.
So I got to check first.
Got it.
So I had this whole thing here, but then I was thinking, as you said all of that yeah, I used to do the same thing too before I was medicated. Like I wouldn't be able to get through a book if I was like, I need to read the end first so I know things end well so that I can get through all the conflict that's between the characters.
Yeah.
It really drove me crazy. Just conflict drove me crazy.
I don't like this one specifically. I had so much struggle with because I like, again, you're supposed to like insert yourself, like reader insert basically. Maybe you're not supposed to, but I do. And so
No,
I'm
you're
like
supposed to.
Yeah,
especially
I'm like
when
watching,
it's first person.
Yeah, I'm watching Freya make the dumbest fucking decisions. This is exactly why I cannot read contemporary, because in contemporary I'm like, I would never fuck my boss. That would never be a situation I would get myself into. I would
Yeah.
never talk to this man in the middle of a
Yeah.
cafe. I would never talk to someone named Chad. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, I can't like remove
I think
myself from
that's-
it, which is
that's-
why in
yeah.
this one it's so annoying. I'm like, your family sucks. Stop talking to them.
It's
okay,
a downside of the first person point of view
Yes.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, I
You're
find
making
that
the dumbest
fascinating
decisions.
that that's what you're supposed to do in romance because I've never, ever done that with a book
Mhm.
I've read.
You're just like really good at being a blob. I also want to say I DNF'd the Harry Potter books because someone told me that in the 5th one Dumbledore died, and I was like, well, I'm not reading anymore. Not because I was a big fan of Dumbledore, because I was like, you ruined it.
Did you never finish the Harry Potter
I know.
books,
I
though?
was like, how? I thought you
I
knew
know,
everything.
I know.
You know everything.
I do
though.
know a lot. I didn't read the books. That's because I read these fan fictions that are like 8 billion pages long.
Okay.
And
fair. I've read arcane fan fiction. I have not finished that series.
yeah.
Mm.
So, and listen, I don't consider myself a Potterhead or like whatever those fucking words are that people call like Harry
Well,
Potter fans.
You can't be now. It's all ruined. So
Yeah.
Yeah, the mirage is lifted. What?
Mhm.
The veil, whatever.
the veil, the veil,
Wow.
the mirage, the
Mirage
shroud.
works.
Yeah. Well, back to this book.
Nice segue, everybody.
Yep. Break.
Mhm.
I need to stop doing that. Back to the book. Bjorn and I are at similar points of frustration. He's so mad, and I'm so mad. He's a dick to Freya when she tells him that his plan is stupid and jokes that he could command her to run away with him. And when she actually like reacts to this joke command, he says again that he'll never control her. He warns her again to be wary of Harold, and she doesn't listen. Harold has gathered all of the children of the gods who follow him, and they all tell Freya about how Harold saved him from their like terrible lives, so now they all serve him. Harold tells her that he will command these warriors however she sees fit, because again, she's the smartest, most bestest person ever, and he's going to support her. Bjorn tells her that they should run because right now she is Harold's puppet, despite her being the one who is commanding Harold.
Question that I can't recall.
Yeah.
How is him telling her that they should run not in order that she has to follow if she must follow Snorri's blood?
Oh, because he's like suggesting it.
He's
If
just
it's
a
like
suggestion,
if it's
like
like
outright
statement
order.
command, yeah. What?
It's like maybe we should run rather than let's run.
I can't. It must have been the way that it was worded. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember. Doesn't matter. Freya is basically a dumb fucking idiot and says, quote, "Whether I am here or not, war is coming in my name. Running will not stop it. Falling on my own fucking sword will not stop it. And I refuse to leave thousands to die just to save my own skin." Bjorn replies, "Nordland and Scotland always have warred, just as both have always warred with Iceland and with the nations beyond. The North wars. Nothing you will do will change that." Unquote. And I realize like this take is pretty nihilistic, but I think Bjorn's right.
I mean, he's right in the real world, but like in book world, he
Yeah,
can't
he's
be
wrong.
right.
Yeah. Mhm. So that evening, Steinen sings of their battle at the beach, which is like with the whales and stuff. Freya listens and realizes that the song makes it seem like Freya like wanted to fight for Harold and not that she ended up fighting out of like coincidence to save the slaves, because Steinen is leaving out a lot of details despite Steinen only being able to sing the truth. During the song, Bjorn peels away to follow Harold, and he sees him talking to Skade.
I think that's how they say it.
Okay, Skade. She is Harold's daughter and right hand. She also has God's blood that gives her perfect aim with this like magical bow and arrow, and she's a jealous, hateful bitch.
Yeah, she is. But she's also Harold's right-hand girl, or she was when Bjorn was gone.
Yeah.
So she's not really interested in giving up the title or the special attention now that Bjorn is back. So
Mhm.
she's been a raging bitch the
Yeah.
entire time because Bjorn's just around. And she's like, how dare you? I want to be the special.
Mm-hmm.
But, we'll see more about that.
Yeah, she's got really bad daddy issues.
She does.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Harold tells Skade not to harm Freya, and then Hrafnheim is under attack. They think it might be Snorri, so they tell Freya to hide so she can't be controlled by him. The wards somehow are down, the fortress is on fire, orphan children are crying in the street, it's chaos. Freya, though, is in the fortress, so she starts directing all the peasants out of the fire. She helps a man who has like a hurt leg, and then he, in turn, offers her some water. When she drinks it, she passes out into his arms.
Don't be drinking strange liquids, girl.
Yeah. He just takes cups from strangers. What are you
Right?
doing?
Mhm.
It could be pee.
It probably was pee. Meanwhile, all the others are out fighting, and during it all, Bjorn realizes that Freya is missing, which, like, I don't know how he really understands this because she's supposed to be in, like, the keep. Whatever. He saves one of the crying children, and that kid tells him that he saw some lady being carried into a boat. Bjorn and Harold realize that that was Freya, and this attack was a diversion. So they jump into a boat, and they use the wolves to track Freya. Back to Freya. I didn't say this earlier, but this book's in dual POV, and so it only really starts mattering until now.
I'm always disappointed in a heterosexual romance with a dual point of view. I really do not want to hear what men think about women. I think the worst I've ever read, which is a shame because it is an author I like, the worst I ever read was Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood.
Yeah.
That man needed to fucking chill. That
He
was like
did.
some stalker shit
He
that he was
did.
thinking.
He
Like this
absolutely
woman
did.
would like reach up and scratch her face and he'd be like, ugh, the way she scratches her face.
I'm glad I never finished that book.
It was very much like that. And I was initially upset that Bjorn got to give his POV here
Yeah.
because of that. But I didn't think this was bad. I thought he did a pretty good job, and it was for valid plot reasons.
Yeah.
Because he's off doing something somewhere else, and Farah's in a totally different area. I almost said Farah, but I didn't. I pulled it off at the end. So, but like books like Not in Love, ew. That was not for plot reasons,
No.
for that POV change. Like, the plot did not need Eli, and besides, he was so unnecessarily obsessed with
Yeah.
every little thing she did. It was stalker behavior. It was creepy. And knowing they got married later, I was like, ew, because I just didn't like that.
Yeah. I think that was like a rough book for a lot of people. I didn't finish it, so I can't even say anything about it.
Yeah, I didn't finish the sequel. I was like, I can't deal with this
I
anymore.
mean, I even liked the swimming S&M one more.
Yes, same. I did too.
I don't think I
Deep
finished that one
End,
either.
Yeah.
I
Even
kind of
though-
like that one.
Actually, I don't even think I started it. I think I kept getting it from the library, and I had to read this book. And I was like, I cannot read any other book until I read this one. And it took me
Yeah.
so long to read this one.
I mean, it's like light BDSM with young 20 somethings who are also Olympian level swimmer / divers who are also geniuses in the mathematical scientific sciences.
I don't know. Like I said, I kind of liked
Because
it.
yeah, that's totally realistic. It doesn't matter though, because I guess they have sex a lot. So
Athletes
yeah.
can be smart.
I mean, they can. I'm not saying they can't. I'm just saying, like, how special do you have to be, really?
Well, not to talk more shit about Blood of Hercules, but that girl is the most special to ever special in her whole
Oh
life.
my god, we will
And
have
she's
so many things to say about that book.
such
So much to say.
So much to say. Anyways. So Freya is unconscious because, she's been drugged until she
Drinking
hears...
pee.
Yeah. So she's unconscious until she hears the specter tell her to wake up. The specter also tells her that, quote, Scotland will be united beneath the rule of the one who controls your fate, unquote. She then wakes up and freaks out on her captors. She tries to fight them with a stick that she's covered with her shield magic, which, like, smart. But then she drops it. Dumb. Then Bjorn and the wolves appear and they kill the bad guys. Yay. Bjorn asks Skade if he recognizes them, but she can't because, like, the wolves ate their faces. The tattoos, though, seem like they are from Scotland, so they deduce that this was Snorri's men.
A little convenient face eating by wolves. Like, who would suspect anything?
Not me.
No.
I was dumb and blind here. Freya decides that they will bring the fight to Snorri, and the plan that she comes up with is the dumbest fucking plan you've ever heard, and it's as follows. They will gather all of the Nordland warriors for a naval battle against Scotland. Freya will then kill Snorri with Hell's powers, and then they will negotiate with the other Scotlanders, and no battle will be had. She will not use Hell's magic against the entire fleet.
I don't understand how she thinks this is going to work.
Nothing. Because she's fucking stupid.
It was fucked from the beginning. It's an awful plan.
And everyone is like, yay, you're such a smart, pretty lady.
Yeah. Freya's an idiot here.
Like,
She's
if your magic
yeah.
cannot hurt him, how would this work?
She's
She has to get close enough to him, too. She can't just scream across the ocean.
No,
She has to get
she has
up
to be
close.
able to
Right.
see him.
Yeah.
And she's not hurting him, Tabitha. She's just pulling him down through the ground and to hell. Helheim.
And it's fine,
Okay.
really. Like,
Yeah.
if you think about it.
So it's not really hurting him. She's just stealing his soul. What could go wrong? Well, Freya could be controlled by Snorri again, for one, but no one cares about that. So Harold suggests that Bjorn could command Freya to do as he says so she won't fall prey to Snorri's commands. Because according to Harold, the other times that Freya resisted was because she was, like, leaning on Bjorn's will and not her own or whatever. But again, Bjorn refuses to command her.
Yeah, this is the problem, is that she keeps refusing to like, they won't do the whole thing, the plan that Harold wants, which is Bjorn commanding her.
No.
Like, if that just piece would fall into place, the plan would work, but she refuses to let that happen.
Well, yeah, but also Bjorn refuses to let...
And Bjorn also refuses to
Yeah,
let that
because it's a
happen.
bad plan. It's a really bad plan. They should just run away. Again, I wanted to be done with this book right here, right now. But I had to continue on. So finally, they are facing off with the Skaland fleet. They are outnumbered. It doesn't look good, and it hasn't even started. Bjorn suggests, again, that they could just kill Ylva before all of this starts, but Freya says no. And this bothered me in the first book, but why do none of these characters consider travel time? Like, he suggests this when they're moments away from killing each other. Like, they're literally moments away from war, but you're just going to, like, sail off to kill someone on land before the battle starts? Just like last time in the book, they were, like, horseback riding across, like, the fucking continent. No, that's not true. But, like, Scandinavia. Mm-hmm. And they were just like, we'll be there tomorrow. Even though they said at the beginning it takes a week to get there.
I feel like this is the Game of Thrones problem where it took, like, in the beginning of the Game of Thrones, it took them, like, months and months to travel, like, Westeros. And then at the end, it's just like, we can get there in literally an hour. It's fine because they just ran out of time.
It's bad.
Yeah, I don't know about fantasy Scandinavia, but real Scandinavia, stuff can be pretty close together. Like, you can get from Sweden to Denmark in under an hour. I believe there's a bridge over it now.
Yeah, but in a car.
Yeah. Yeah, also, like, I don't know.
They've got ships that they're rowing.
It kind of depends. Yeah, sometimes they row, sometimes they use sails. So, like, if the wind's really good, you could get there really, really fast. But, like, do you have the crew
Listen, this is also a magical land. So maybe
they
have magic sails and
just
magic
let me be
oars.
mad about it.
But since we're talking about boats, do you guys want to hear about Naglfar?
What?
Do we?
So when Ragnarok happens,
I was trying to go to the bathroom, so I missed this.
No,
she didn't.
No, this is
we all must be present.
When Ragnarok happens, there is going to be a boat of monsters that goes from kind of like Helheim, but just a boat of monsters that will be going to the battlegrounds. The boat will actually be steered by Loki, but the boat itself is made out of the fingernails and toenails of every person who has ever died.
God damn.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which is why we are told when your loved ones die, you need to remember to trim their toenails and fingernails as part of, like, the stuff you do to prepare them for burial. Mm-hmm. Because otherwise, like, if they got long, sharp nails, you don't want those contributing to Naglfar.
No,
the name Naglfar translates to nail farer.
Cool.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Isn't this just wild mythology? This is my favorite. This is my favorite mythological culture.
Yeah, it is interesting though when you're thinking about mythology.
That's what I'm
being
saying.
Like they're all stories about, like, telling people what you should be doing. Like, you need to cut their fingernails, otherwise they're going to use the fingernails on the boat. That, you know, blah blah blah, and it's going to be awful.
That's actually, like, a super common cultural practice, like, broadly.
I've
too.
literally never heard of that.
Really?
But also, like, I've not like funeraled people.
Where I used to live, that was something people believed in to different levels. And I've seen it in other cultures too. It's like your hair and your nails, when you cut them, you can't just, like, throw it away. You have to, like, do something else with them because it can be used for magic.
Mm-hmm.
People will, like, find your discarded nails and do you ill with magic because of it.
Thank you for that. And I got to eat a piece of my mozzarella stick, so thank you for that as well. Mm-hmm. Then Bjorn has a crash out, and I feel so completely seen by him. He just, like, yells at everyone. It's great. Saga is, like, at this battle, even though she's, like, unable to fight. She doesn't know how to fight at all. Cannot believe that her own son is questioning Odin.
Also, another super suspicious moment. Like, when she appeared to be a part of this, I was immediately like, how the fuck did you get here so quickly? And also, what is she even doing here right now?
Mm-hmm. Moral support cheerleader. Who knows why the fuck she's here? So she's here. She can fight. She's like, I'll go talk to Harold to make sure it's okay. Yeah. So Tora, Bjorn, Saga, and Freya are on one ship. Harold and a bunch of people are on some other ship. They pull up in their ship as close as they can to Snorri's ship because Freya needs to, like, see him so that she can curse him. She gets close. Freya curses him to Helheim, but it doesn't work. Nothing happens.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
She, like, cursed this man. Nothing happened. So then the warrior takes off his helmet, and it reveals that it wasn't Snorri at all. It's just some random guy with a beard. So no wonder her fucking curse didn't work. Then the real Snorri appears on a different boat and commands her to stand down, and she reacts immediately. Then it all becomes so unbelievably chaotic. Tora and Bjorn can't attack the boat that Snorri's on because it's warded. Freya is now trying to attack Tora and Bjorn because her oath makes her protect Snorri. Saga is like, for some reason, again, still on this boat for no fucking reason. And she's screaming and she's crying and she's like yelling at Bjorn to wield Freya. Almost said Farah. God damn it.
It's right there on the tip of your tongue. Always waiting.
It is. It's like a curse. So, like, could you imagine your mom nagging you on this boat, like, while you're trying to fight for your fucking life?
I mean, yeah, I can. My mom's, like, currently nagging me right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. About your foot?
She doesn't know about my foot, but she would be nagging about me if she did.
Yeah. So anyways, Saga is like hysterically yelling at Bjorn, like crying, screaming, throwing up. And he's like, fine, shut the fuck up, I'll do it. And he commands Freya to stop. So Saga's hysterical. She screams that her vision is happening. It's coming true. Everyone's going to die. Bjorn needs to command Freya. He needs to, use her powers to save everyone. So, because Freya's under his command, he does. And Freya sends all of the Skaland warriors to Helheim, except Snorri, because he's still protected by the oath.
So the plan wouldn't have worked anyway.
Yeah, it was dumb as hell.
It was the dumbest fucking thing ever.
It's just like, he's protected by the oath, you guys. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
You remember?
But if she tries really hard and she feels it in her heart, maybe it'll work. Was basically what the plan was. Anyways, somehow everything happens and they, like, whatever. Everyone goes into hell. And then they all land on this tiny island. I have no idea how that happened. But they're, like, floating on this island. What? They're standing on this island. And then floating in...
We're not sure where we are right now.
I don't either.
It doesn't matter, though.
They're on an island.
They're on some island. They're on a teeny tiny island. And they look around, and floating in the water are the thousands of bodies that Freya just killed. Bjorn is racked with guilt because he told Freya to do it, so he feels like he's the one who killed them all.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But no, it's not Bjorn's fault. It's Snorri's fault. This is Bjorn's logic here. If Snorri didn't control Freya, then Bjorn wouldn't have had to command her to take back control, and then no one would have died. The plan, it was flawless.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, it was.
Mm-hmm.
If you go far back enough.
Yeah, it could have been. It could have worked, is what they're all saying. It couldn't have. So Bjorn's pissed. He starts kicking Snorri while he's down, literally and figuratively. Mm-hmm. Snorri's like just super confused, mostly because he's an idiot, which, yeah, he would be confused by anything that happened. But he's like, Snorri's like, what lies has Harald filled your ears with to cause you to do this? And Bjorn says that Snorri tried to kill Saga, so again, everything is his fault. Snorri's still confused. He never hurt Saga. He found her dead, charred to a crisp in the cabin. Finally, Freya and Saga appear. Freya tells him to stop, but Saga tells him to kill Snorri. Snorri refuses to fight his son, which just enrages Bjorn more. Finally, Bjorn hits him in the chest with his axe. Freya runs to comfort Snorri as he dies, and Saga starts mocking Snorri's last moments as she laughs hysterically. But then, her laugh starts to morph into something wicked and manly, and she transforms into Harald.
The twist presents itself. So I was telling Emma while she was having that gift crash out that there was a twist. I promise there's a twist, and I still don't think it helped calm her down.
No. I don't think I got calm until Harald like disappeared off this island, and then I was better. Harald is a child of Loki, a shapeshifter, and a trickster. That's the big surprise.
Yes, that's the twist.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He has been pretending to be Saga since she died in the fire, and he finally achieved his ultimate goal, kill Snorri, because Snorri was the reason why Saga never joined Harald's ragtag group of fighters. They call Tora to help, but she swore an oath to protect Harald. More on that later. So she can't do anything. Freya tries to curse Harald, but nothing happens because Hel is Loki's daughter, so she can't use her power against him.
That seems like a stupid catch to me.
Yes.
I mean,
well, again,
Baldur's brother is the one who sent him to hell, so, like...
I don't think that even matters, because remember, she can't curse any of the Unfated.
No, that really should have been what
Yeah.
they said, but instead it was like, we had to tie in these weird family ties. She tells Snorri that he's an idiot and a loser, but at least he's not a coward, so he should go to Valhalla.
Or Folkvinnar.
Keep going. It's fine.
Keep going.
Ignore her. Just ignore her.
Don't
Keep
let her go
going.
on another tangent.
Oh, no, I still got one in me.
Oh,
It's coming
God.
up.
I'm just kidding. So Freya uses Hel's power to make sure that Snorri doesn't go to Helheim. Snorri uses his last breath to tell her to protect the blood.
Gross.
Yeah.
A theme in all of these books I feel like we have to gloss over is how truly traumatizing the events would be. Like, Bjorn just found out that his mother was dead and a crazy man had been pretending to be her for like a decade, and he finds this out immediately after he kills his dad with an axe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that he also killed his mother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Accidentally.
Accidentally, he was the one who killed his mom. Like, so
But
hard to
wouldn't
read.
you think back over those 10 years and like every time you like fucking undressed in front of your mom or something?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it
yeah.
was actually a man.
Freya does realize that at one point in the book. She was like, dude, my tits were out in front of him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like Snorri was awful as a human being, but also he was not what Bjorn thought he was. So
No.
like Snorri genuinely thought that he had a loving relationship with Bjorn, and Bjorn was over there like, you killed my mom, I hate you. But in fact, none of that was true. So I feel like I could write a dissertation on trauma in the romantasy male love interest at this point,
Yeah.
because this reveal really knocked the wind out of me for like what sort of level of trauma he is experiencing currently.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, it's a surprise that he hasn't been molested by somebody, because like look at what happened to Rhys Sand for 50 years.
Honestly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what was the one we read? From Blood and Ash. He
From
like
Blood
has
and
this
Ash.
one throwaway line that's like, oh, they did other things
Quicksilver.
to me
Quicksilver was
Quicksilver's
another
the same
one.
thing, too.
Yeah.
So like, just to be an asshole, and the male,
too. That's Serpent and the Wings of Night.
all of them,
Yeah,
they're all
yeah.
like that. Yeah. So like, to be an asshole in the male love interest trauma Olympics of the books that we've read for this podcast, who would win?
I mean, I think Bjorn, like, this is, like, he killed his own dad.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I mean, what happens to Bjorn is bad. If we're talking about like sexual violence, I think it would be Rhys Sand.
Yeah,
that
that
went
is
on for
true.
a while.
This is true. Like 50 years of sexual violence.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're tied. I do think, like, they have to have some sort of like terrible trauma to make them on the same
Oh yeah,
playing
that's
field as like women.
that's I feel
Sure.
like
Yeah.
what could an academic article could be written about is like
do it,
how
do it.
this takes a like hyper
Yeah.
masculine aggressive man and sort of like softens him a bit.
Yeah.
And about how that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
that we
Yeah.
give these men trauma because it's the only way to counter the hyper masculinity.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
And to make them somehow like palatable to female consumption.
Yeah.
Damn. So yeah, a lot of fucked up stuff happens.
Mhm.
Then Bjorn and Freya realize that they've been trapped on this teeny tiny island by Harold's ruins because he left and they can't escape. So he left them to die. Also, this is like a cold climate because we're in like the Nordic region, like Scandinavia. So Freya and Bjorn face starvation, dehydration, and hypothermia. And the reason why I mention that is because whenever I think of the word island, I just immediately think of like the Bahamas, which is, I know, like not accurate, but it's just what
Yeah.
my brain does.
This is like the Shetlands or whatever.
Despite the certain death of our main characters, this is where the book like picked up for me. Not because of like the bullshit with Harold, but because like Freya and Bjorn start like bantering and being logical people again.
Yeah, I liked that the book like kind of comes around right here. It gets really good from this point on, and I was like, what a roller coaster we're on right now.
Yeah.
Yes, coincidentally, right when they fuck on a beach.
I think that's just like the tonal shift we needed.
Yeah. Again, like like we talk about this later, but we really left the romance for a while here. Bjorn is distraught with all of his feelings. This is prior to the fucking, by the way. So they're on this beach. They're about to die. Bjorn's distraught. You know, he killed his dad. He basically killed his mom all those years ago. And now he's going to be the cause of Freya's death, too. She tells him to stop being a pussy and to light some of these trees on fire so people can spot them. Again, like, they bicker. They banter. It's fun. She eventually says that she forgives him. And then they have public sex on this deserted island. Kind of an oxymoron there. But... Still, she rides his face, then she gives him a blowjob. They fuck while she glows with her shield magic. They love each other. Yay.
So I know she has her shield magic on, so they're probably not feeling this. But obviously they're wet, and
Yeah.
the beach is made up of rocks. And all I could think about were their knees, even though, yes, shield magic. So I guess their knees are fine. But they're still cold and wet.
I didn't even think about the rocks at all. Again, I
Yeah.
literally thought of like the Bahamas.
I just remember them saying there's rocky islands or on rocks. It's all very sad and upsetting, and
I just like, can people stop having sex outside only in these
Yeah.
books?
it has to be outside.
They
I'm
really should
sorry.
have had sex in the sauna.
Yes.
Everybody wants it to be outside.
Some time passes, and Ylva, Snorri's wife, shows up randomly at this island. They try to explain to her what happened, but she hates them for being traitors. So she's like, I'm not going to fucking listen to you. But finally, she's like, I'll listen when Freya tells her that Snorri is dead, and technically it's Harold's fault. So Freya lets Ylva see her memories through some rune magic, and she agrees to save Bjorn and her. So she pulls Bjorn through this like runic wall that was keeping them trapped, and then knocks Bjorn out. Ylva then leaves Freya to die because she's Hel's daughter and can't be trusted to stay alive.
She's just mad that they're sister wives. Or I guess at this point, sister widows.
Yeah, she'd still have to be super pissed about that whole situation.
That's true. Freya is moments away from death when the specter appears. It tells her that Freya is not entirely mortal, and that is her ticket out. Freya calls on Hel's magic and falls through the ground to the underworld.
Yay. Fun new places to see. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah. The Spectre, who's actually Saga, like the real Saga, not like the fucked up Saga with the perfect tits, is with Freya in this like weird between realm. They are on a path that will lead them to Helheim, and above them is the Tree of Life, Yggdrasil. Saga explains that her life is tied to Freya somehow, which is why she's the only one that can see Saga's charred corpse. Saga explains that her life is tied to Freya somehow, which is why she's the only one that can see Saga's charred corpse. Neither know how to kill Harold, so they need to ask Hel. Saga tells her that she can climb up the roots of that tree to escape, but instead Freya runs to the gates of Helheim and demands to speak with her mother. Hel appears as a giant before shrinking to Freya's size. She's like half alive and half dead. It's kind of like a gross description.
That's usually how she's depicted.
Oh, I've picture her as Cate Blanchett.
Half alive and half dead.
Yeah. No, I just picture her as Cate Blanchett with the crazy helmet. So the description was gross to me because I've never heard of her that way before. She asks Hel how to defeat Harold, but Hel won't say until she taunts the goddess. Hel tells Freya that she has the power over death and then disappears. Freya then enters Helheim and looks for the Skaland warriors that she just cursed until she finds her brother. He and the other warriors are like in this trance. They're all walking towards like the center of this world, basically. She uses her powers to wake up the Skaland warriors and tells them that she's sorry for cursing them. But they can fight to save Skaland and a chance for Valhalla if they come with her. So they all charge for the gates of Helheim. Since she is a living thing in a place for dead things, the magic of the underworld is just like slowly killing her. Hel notices that all these people are trying to escape and chases after them. They reach the gate just as Freya breathes her last breath, but her brother pulls her through and she is alive again.
Truly, this is the most useful he has ever been to her in the existence of his life as a character.
Yeah.
Like, he had to die before he could permit character growth.
Yeah, he's like a real brother in this time.
Yeah.
I'm like, where was his energy last
Yeah,
book?
right.
You were
Like,
a
his
real
energy has
douche.
totally changed. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, good for you.
Death really becomes you.
Yeah, it does.
So Freya and these warriors scurry up the roots as Hel reaches them, and then Hel tells this like giant pet snake to attack them. He spits venom at them, but Freya is too smart now. She gets into position above the snake and plunges her sword into his head and when it tries to spit venom on her. Finally, she gets pulled out of the ground only to find that she's still trapped on this island. Fuck. She sees ships sailing towards her, but they are filled with Draug. Yeah. She sees ships sailing towards her, but they are filled with Draug. You know, because she pulled dead people back from the earth, it would make sense that they would appear as like undead rotting corpses.
I love this detail. Like, if you told me that Freya would be leading a zombie army in book 2, I would have laughed in your face.
Yeah. So her brother pulls her through the ruins, and then they sail to Scotland.
I know that this is because Tolkien based his lore on Norse lore, but this part of the book is so Dead Men of Dunharrow.
Oh, I'm so glad you made this comment, because the whole time I was reading this, I was like, this is literally what happened in Lord of the Rings. Another book which I had to DNF, but that was after I've watched the movies 100 bajillion times.
That's fair enough.
So we're back at Scotland in this little section. Bjorn and Ylva are alive. Ylva tries to barter Bjorn for Leif's life. Leif is the son of Ylva and Snorri. Harold is like, okay, let me get your son and then we can talk. So Leif appears with Snorri, who's actually Harold in disguise, but Leif doesn't know this. So he appears with Harold, who's actually Snorri, and then he calls Bjorn a traitor, and then he just like goes away, I guess. Ylva is like, what the fuck, dude? What is happening? And Harold then tells her that she will play along or Leif will die. Ylva tells Harold that they should use Bjorn as bait for Freya. He sends Bjorn to the dungeon.
Once again, a lot of characters in this book.
I know, and I'm really like first naming them because when I do he's and hers, it gets really messy.
Yes.
Yeah. Bjorn tells Harold that he convinced one of Ylva's men to tell everyone that Harold is a child of Loki. This is like a lie, but Harold tells Skade to hunt this man down. Now we're back to Freya. When they land in Scotland, they find Guthrum and his bird, Kaya. This is a character from like all the way at the beginning of this. He didn't matter until now. They fish him out of the water, but when he wakes up, he runs away. So again, it doesn't really matter. I promise it matters. There's a reason why that detail's in there. Freya's brother, who has a name, I just keep calling him brother. His name's Gear, right?
Yes.
Yeah, a dumb fucking name.
All that lead up for that.
Sorry. So Freya's brother, Gear, asks her to take care of his son and his wife when this is over. Cute, I guess.
Nah, girl.
I mean,
fuck him.
I know.
it would have been helpful if the wife were worth it.
Yeah.
But she was also a bitch.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah.
no.
This was, the wife was Freya's best friend and then, like, also was a shitty bitch to her, too. Again, everyone sucked last book.
And wife doesn't get an opportunity to, like, turn it around like Gear does. So,
Yeah.
No. She just appears and they're, like, best friends again at the end.
No.
Anyways, so Gear and Freya, they're on this boat, blah, 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 blah. They see Skade hunting that man down, and Skade sees Freya and the Drog. So this man that Skade is hunting, like, sees them, and he tells Freya that they are going to give Bjorn the Blood Eagle, whatever the fuck that is, and then he gets killed by Skade.
Believe me, Tabitha is ready and waiting for the Blood Eagle convo.
Thank God,
She is-
because they
she
didn't
is
explain it
so
at all.
ready.
And I
So
almost texted
ready.
you.
Okay,
Let's go.
I think this is my last major aside.
Okay.
So there's a really good academic article about this that I will have Emma link the citation to.
You have to keep all of that in.
I tried to roll away so that you wouldn't hear me chewing, and then I rolled over that bag. I'm sorry.
So I have an academic article that I'm going to make Emma put the citation in the show notes. That is about like the practicalities of the Blood Eagle. So the Blood Eagle theoretically is a form of Viking torture.
Yeah, I figured. But what is it?
So what they, and again, this has to do with like sources. Like there's sources contemporary with the Vikings that kind of mention it, but it's in kind of vague terms. And it was really only outlined further, like a couple centuries later, by people who were essentially Christian and had a vested interest in making the Vikings seem a bit more savage than they really were. So nobody's actually sure if this was a real thing or not. Probably wasn't, because it practically makes no sense. Okay. So the way it's supposed to work is this person's supposed to stay alive throughout this. You put them on their front, they're prone. Okay. You cut into their back. You cut through the muscles and you pull their lungs out through the cavity you create in the back and just have them outside. Fuck. Now, the reason this article is so good is because it goes into like what muscle groups exist that you would have to cut through and how much blood loss would occur for you to do that. They're like, these are the things that you would have to remove, like the ribs, because that's part of it too, is, you got to get the ribs out of the way. So they would like break them and fan them outwards. And it creates theoretically wings. That's why it's called the Blood Eagle. And they're like, there's not really a conceivable way you could do this without major blood loss. So the person would probably die like long before the lungs ever got out. And then they talk a bit about like how sensitive lungs are and like you can't really do that with them. They'll just collapse. Right. Their lungs would have collapsed like way before this when you were cutting through the muscle groups. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then they also point out that like Vikings didn't really have knives that would be made for this kind of shit.
Yeah.
That would take a lot of precision and they just probably didn't exist. So it's a really good article. I really like how they like break down first, like, well, here's the sources, what the sources say, and that makes it very unclear. But also anatomically,
yeah,
this makes no sense at all.
Yeah, that's disgusting. I'm kind of glad they never explained it, but also like stop talking about it then. Like it's capital
culture.
B, capital E, Blood Eagle every time.
In pop culture,
Badass
if anybody has ever
but
think that they have, if anybody's ever seen Midsummer.
Yeah, it's in Midsummer.
Is it?
One of the people who gets killed is it in the chicken coop where that happens?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like mounted up with his lungs out. That's the Blood Eagle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like scary
It's why
movies.
it's very popular now, because Midsummer was a popular movie and now everybody knows about the Blood Eagle who saw it and they're super into it as a thing, but it's not really
it's probably not. Whatever they did, it probably did not go down like that.
I figured it was like some sort of like crucifixion.
Similar. It's a similar
torture.
to crucifixion. Sure. Yeah. because you're leaving the body up later so you can see it. Yeah, similar.
Well, thank you for that. And I got to finish my mozzarella stick. So
Mozzarella stick to the blood eagle. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. So they're out there, whatever, hanging out. They get spotted. Skade runs back. And then Freya spots Harold's 2 wolves, and she removes the wards that allow Harold to communicate with them.
He has 2 wolves outside of him.
Yeah.
So then while Freya and Gear are talking about stuff, they decide the best way to sneak into the fortress is through the sewers, which is perfect because the Draug don't need to breathe. But Freya still does, and it smells like shit down there. So when they're in the sewer, they hear Steinan cry about Harold letting Snorri live. Because again, all she wants is her revenge on Snorri. But she doesn't know that it is fake Snorri walking around. Right? Because Harold can shapeshift.
Yeah,
Okay,
she doesn't understand yet.
So Freya says they need to convince Steinan to sing about Harold being the child of Loki. Remember, all the Draug are from Scotland, and they don't want to fight and kill their own people. So that's why they're trying to convince people to get on their side. They just want to kill Harold. That's it. But when Freya finally sneaks in to Steinan's room and talks to her, it's useless, like all of her fucking plans are. Steinan doesn't seem to care that Harold is a trickster. She only cares that Snorri is dead. So she gives away Freya's position, and then Freya has to escape. She failed.
I know that we come to find out that everyone has been manipulated and is mired in their own grief, which clouds their judgment. But God, these people suck.
They do.
Yeah.
Every single one of them suck.
Yeah, that's why this book is so unbelievably frustrating for me. So back to Bjorn. Remember, he's in jail, and he wakes up, and Tora is standing guard. She tells him how she found out who Harold was, because once she went to visit Saga without telling him, and Saga wasn't there because Harold was being her. Then Harold tricked her into swearing, her as in Tora, tricked Tora into swearing an oath to him by pretending to be Tora's girlfriend. Tora spent a night with her girlfriend drinking and making love before they decided to swear vows to each other. But before her girlfriend could finish swearing her vows to Tora, she melted into Harold right before her eyes.
Yeah. Terrifying. Awful.
Yeah.
Yes. That was a story.
Yeah, that whole story was almost worse than Bjorn killing his own father.
It's like the trauma that everyone has in these books is deep. And
you're drinking, having a nice time with your girlfriend, and you're like, what if we just got married right now? Amazing, let's get married. You say
do your vows first.
Yeah, you do your vows first. She's like, okay, I love you forever, I'll swear I'll never kill you, okay, your turn. And then right before your eyes it turns into your fucking boss. Can you imagine that? And you're like, oh my God, you were in my vagina. You know what I mean?
That's the least of it.
Or whatever lesbians do.
Whatever they do, what mysteries they have.
Well, I'm assuming they don't have strap-ons back then, so.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, I think you'd be surprised.
I know.
How many historical dildos exist.
Yeah.
Then Steinan appears in the dungeon to tell Bjorn the sob story about her life for some fucking dumb reason.
Steinan really wants us all to know that she's an orphan with a dead son.
Yeah, it's the most important thing about her.
She's an orphan, or she's a widow?
Or
she's an orphan widow?
She's orphan, a widow, dead baby.
Yeah, she's got the trifecta.
And she's a coward. Is all you need to know about her. She's a coward. They won't shut the fuck up about her being a coward. They say it every time they talk about her. They're like, Steinan, she's a fucking coward. Anyways, so she sings him the song about how Snorri killed her family, but as she retells it, she realizes that the crazy laughing Snorri was actually Harold disguised as Snorri.
Yeah.
And Harold actually killed everyone.
Harold is freaking everywhere, man.
Yeah.
Just playing 5-dimensional chess with literally every character in this book.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole gist of his whole thing is he just wants all of these unfated people to basically follow him around. He wants a big Avengers fan club.
Yeah, basically.
Where he is the head Avenger. Just evil. And it's amazing. That's his whole motivation.
Yep.
And he is so pissed when one of them says no. That's all of this happened.
He's like, okay, I'll fuck you and then make you swear a vow to me. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's terrible. This emotional manipulation is really fucked up. So she tells her story. It's gross. And then she says that she will sing a song tonight to honor Harold. Big, heavy quotes around the word honor. Now we're back to Freya. Her and the Draug are out of the fortress, feeling defeated that they didn't convince Steinen to join them. So they come up with a lot of bad plans and eventually decide that they will just smoke everyone out of the fortress and then use the wolves to sniff Harold out. Like, basically, they'll pull off his mask, Scooby-Doo style, and then everyone will cheer.
Is this when she talks to the wolves and promises to free them, or was that earlier?
No, when she washed the runes off earlier, she was like, well, what if you just, like, work for me one last time and then runes them back up? Which, like, we really gloss over how anyone knows about runes here, especially, like, Freya. But, yeah, she's like, I'll free you, but you just have to do one last thing for me, and then I'll free you again.
Yeah, runes are like a separate magic than the god magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was hard for me to understand if she actually knew how to use runes at all, because it seemed like just Ylva and Harold knew how to use them.
Right, and then she magically uses them to, like, tell Ylva her memories, and also uses them to, like, do the wolf talking to animal thing. Yeah.
Yes.
Whatever. Now we're back to Bjorn. Harold appears to Bjorn to gloat like every good villain should. He tells Bjorn that he isn't even Harold. He's some other random guy. Long time ago, he consumed Harold's identity when they were younger, and then he killed Harold's father to become Jarl.
Like, I know I shouldn't, but I still felt ridiculously sad for the real Harold and real Harold's dad here for some reason. But also, the thing that more consumed me was wanting to know who he really was. And he's just like, it's been so long, I don't even really know. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean, the OG Harold was nobility as well, so he probably sucked. But I agree. This is very interesting. This is like true horror novel stuff.
Yeah. And you might think that, like, the word consumed is a weird choice. But no, he literally ate people's faces in order to become them.
Do you know what an academic word for this would be? Sympathetic anthropophagy.
Oh my God.
Thank you for that. I feel like you're really turning up the nerd dial here.
Yeah. We are deep in nerddom.
I'm sorry.
No, I mean, like, be your true self.
As this is one of my special interests.
Got it. I'm letting you thrive. Hopefully I'm letting you thrive. So then Harold turns his clothes inside out because they are reversible, so he can easily switch costumes and become Snorri. He takes Bjorn upstairs to finally receive the Blood Eagle torture treatment, which, again, they never describe in this book. Thank you, Tabitha, for bringing us all up to speed on what the fuck that was. Steinen interrupts the torture ceremony to sing a song for her king, and then proceeds to sing about Harold the shapeshifter eating the real Harold's face and interfering with everyone's lives to make them indebted to him. As she sings, everyone becomes enthralled to her song. Which isn't great because Freya and the Draug are throwing smoking boughs of pine over the walls of the fortress. Guthrum appears again inexplicably and tells them to stop because Steinen is singing and they are all under her spell. Except that his warning is too late because the fortress catches on fire. Because, again, all of Freya's plans are fucking stupid. So she sends the Draug in to save the peasants and then directs the wolves to sniff Harold out. Freya, on the other hand, runs inside and rescues Bjorn. They escape the fire through the sewage tunnels. When they get to fresh air, Bjorn makes a comment about him being cold. But Bjorn's never cold. Remember, he controls fire. So she tells him to call his fire axe. But he can't because, surprise, he's Harold.
This man is such a fucking jump scare.
Literally. Yeah, he's everyone.
The real Bjorn is actually escaping the fire with the help of the Draug. He runs to find Harold but is hit by Skade's arrow. He tells her that this trickster Harold probably isn't even her real dad, and then Gear snaps her neck.
Yeah, because Skade knew everything.
Yeah.
Like, that's why her neck needed to be snapped. Like, there was no convincing her to turn against Harold because she's like, haha, I've been in on the plan the entire time.
Yeah, but again, the most useful her brother has ever been. Maybe Freya should throw a few coins at her sister-in-law.
Yeah.
Just for that, maybe.
Yeah. It's like, good one.
Skade does technically know everything, but she's still convinced that this Harold is like her dad.
Yes.
Figuratively or literally, I have no idea.
Yeah, he's lying to everyone else, just not me.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
She's the special one. Ugh. So back to Freya. Harold transforms into one of his huge wolves and is about to launch himself at her when she twists her ankle and falls over because nothing can go right for this poor woman. At that moment, though, the real Bjorn appears and throws his axe at Wolf Harold. They then run after him, but Bjorn falls into a hole, and then giant cat Harold attacks Freya. Harold transforms into some gross, like, tentacly monster thing, and Freya tries to fight him off, but he slices her with a poisonous talon. There's a lot of, like, taunting going on, like, back and forth between Freya and Harold, but I think this quote sums it up perfectly. It's from Foy.
What?
Foya.
Freedom of Information Act? What?
Fuck. It's from Freya. Quote, I achieved my destiny, Harold. I united Scotland by controlling my own fate, which means that all of this is my doing, not yours. Saga's vision has come to pass, and I wonder how it feels to know that despite everything you've done, all your tricks and manipulations, that you could not change the future that she saw. Unquote. She keeps getting attacked by Harold, though, despite this, like, awesome words, and realizes that she can't defeat him in a fight while Bjorn is still in that fucking hole. So she needs to outsmart him. Like, how deep is this fucking hole? Like, he's been crawling out of it the whole time.
Listen, if it's muddy, like, think about how slippery that must be.
Yeah, it's just, fine. I just want to be mad, really. So Freya's like, I need to outsmart him. So she grabs onto Harold and then curses herself to Helheim.
This is such a useful party trick now.
Yeah.
And it's totally why he's in a hole and can't get out.
Mm-hmm.
I loved this scene. The evil magician changing forms in a battle with the hero is such a medieval trope.
I will say it was fun. But
It was fun. I liked this, like, penultimate battle.
When Bjorn fell in that fucking hole, though, I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah,
Like,
that is weird.
Just let her win.
I couldn't help her.
thing.
I fell in a hole.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They had to remove him from the storyline, though, so that she could do it all herself.
I know.
He's too overpowered.
Have you ever seen New Girl?
Yeah.
The episode where they go camping and
Yeah.
Nick falls into that hole.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I could think of here. Was just him at the bottom like, it's fine, I'll survive. In the most Nick Miller way. So Bjorn's in the hole, having the Nick Miller moment. Freya and Harold get dragged to Helheim. Immediately, Harold calls for Hel's aid, which I thought was weird, like, but whatever.
Well, technically, he's like her nephew.
Sure. Sure. Still, just let me be mad. So Freya and Harold start wrestling, but just like her first time down here, the magic is slowly killing them, and they're also like already half dead from beating each other up. So Harold turns into some sort of like snake monster man, but Hel finally appears, and she's fucking pissed that Freya stole all those souls from her. Freya tries to barter with this goddess, but Hel says no, because soon Freya will die here, and then she will have Freya's soul forever. Suddenly, Hlyn appears. This is the goddess that gave Freya her shield powers. Hlyn scolds Hel for falling for Freya's trick. She tells Hel that if she wants Freya's soul, she must fight for it. Hel laughs. Who's going to fight her? Her puny daughter? Hlyn smirks in response, and then all of the gods appear in their giant form. Hel touches Harold to save him. Then Freya asks Tyr for his flame. He pulls the axe from the mortal realm for Freya, and then she throws it at Harold. And, like, I'm honestly still confused by this part because it doesn't seem like the axe even hit Harold, but in the next line, he's looking down at his corpse on the ground with his head split in two, so he's dead.
Yeah. So it's the fact that Harold's spirit self realizes his body is dead a little too late. So he's like, ha ha, you didn't hit me. And then he looks down and he's like, oh, oops, I'm a spirit. And that's my dead body.
Oh.
So that's embarrassing for him.
Got it.
Yeah, this is a relatively common ghost thing in fiction. Like, I believe this happened to the ghosts in the movie Ghost. They get killed, don't realize they're dead for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I guess that makes sense now. So not only is he stupid, but now he's crying for his daddy, Loki, to help him, but he doesn't appear.
Yeah, Loki doesn't show up for losers, Harold.
Yeah, Loki would not give a fuck about this happening. He is too busy having horse sex, by which I mean sex while as a horse.
With a horse?
Yes, it was with another horse.
Got it.
At least that's the case. Can you imagine it being something else?
Honestly,
no.
maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's what I was kind of expecting, honestly.
Didn't we start at the beginning of this book talking about golden showers and Zeus becoming a swan or something? So.
Listen, that's the least of what he's done. Like, talk about
Anything's
Europa for a minute.
possible.
Like-
Yeah. So Harold's dead. Loki doesn't appear. Instead, the real Saga appears and starts beating Harold up. And then Odin appears because everyone needs to be at this fucking party. And he's like, Freya, you're amazing. Come with me to Valhalla. But she tells Odin no, she still has some shit to do.
What a game changer.
Yeah. So she gets a boost from Hlyn and then starts climbing up the roots. Freya is about to die when Hel reminds her of her powers. She's gonna like die in hell is the problem. So Freya calls on her magic and asks an Icelander for help finding someone. He tells her to fuck off and then realizes that she killed Harold, so like she gets one favor. Again, he says the stupid word vulva. I just had to bring that up. So this random man brings her Liv, who I'm sure you don't remember because I didn't. She was a healer from the first book. She's in Helheim because she isn't a warrior, and Helheim isn't like a bad place, you know. It's just where like the normies go to die in this book. Anyways, this Liv is here, and she tells her that she will be healed if she makes it to the surface. Freya will be healed if she makes it to the surface. And Freya almost gets there before she dies. The end. Just kidding. Don't fear, because Bjorn pulls her up the rest of the way, and she's alive. Yay. Again, that could be the end, but we need to wrap everything up. So I'm going to rapid fire this. Geir is like, good job, sister, and then she dismisses him and the rest of the Drog to Valhalla. Steinen appears to apologize for being a coward and then says that she'll take whatever punishment Freya gives her, as if Freya is like the new ruler, whatever. Freya tells her that she must sing about all that happened, including her own story about her family being murdered, because she's too much of a coward to sing about it, whatever. Steinen is like, sweet. I'll call it the Saga of the Unfated, which is what the book's called. Well, what the series is called. Anyways, everyone else is like, well, what do we do now? And Freya tells all the Jarls to go back to their areas and never try to be king of everyone again. Leif then appears and tries to make Freya and Bjorn stay, but his command doesn't work anymore, and they realize that Freya must have died at some point, and that broke the spell.
Handy.
Yeah, she died like 4 times. Then Bjorn asks Freya to marry him, and she says yes.
Huzzah.
The end. Just kidding. We have an epilogue. Freya and Bjorn in this epilogue are now on like a nice little farm in the middle of nowhere. It's hard work, but it's better than fighting. Freya's sister-in-law appears and jokes that it would probably be easier if Freya and Bjorn spent less time.
I was going to say, don't we start out this scene by him like eating her out? I can't believe he didn't mention that.
Yeah.
I wanted to be done with this.
They do some fucking. They do.
Yeah, they are fucking, and then her sister-in-law appears, which like what? A cock block.
Like really?
Yeah. What do you mean?
Sister-in-law, just some random neighbor.
I thought it was literally her sister-in-law who comes over with her nephew.
I don't remember.
Who cares?
It was too long ago.
Some woman and some kid appears, and they're like, ha ha ha, farming would be so much easier if you weren't trying to fuck each other all the time. Maybe go milk that goat. Then a messenger randomly appears to say that Leif is being attacked. They need help. Freya and Bjorn are like, well, by the time we get there, everything's probably over, so like, why are we even going? But like, we should probably go, so we'll just like check up on him, because you know we're done with fighting. So they pack and take all their weapons, and they're like, well, maybe we'll just stay like a couple extra days. Well, maybe we'll just stay for a week. Maybe we'll just like, actually, Freya says that she doesn't want a quiet life, and Bjorn says that he will follow her to Valhalla.
And then she's like, race you to the war, which I thought was a little tonally weird, but I will forgive the book for this.
And that's literally the end.
It made sense to me. Like, Freya wanted adventure, and she's like, what, 23 when this is all going down?
Yeah.
So more adventures. Mm-hmm. Also, it's the one thing I always used to really hate about romance is I always felt like the man was breaking the woman's spirit by the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, it's like, now she will be a wife and a mother and live in my giant estate, and that's it.
Yeah.
So I like that it's like, no, she's still going to kill people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like that twist. When they showed up at the farm, I was like, fine.
Yeah. No, I'm happy that they went off to war again. I was just a little bit like, race you to the war. I'm like, really?
I do think the epilogue was totally unnecessary, though.
Yeah. Also, you know what we don't fully wrap up in this book? And I asked Maura to be 100% sure. Those fucking wolves.
Yeah,
they're still enslaved.
They don't
she never like erased the runes and let them go.
I
So
know.
like, where the fuck are those wolves and what are they doing now?
Maybe they're on her farm and they're helping protect the goats
Those
or
wolves
whatever.
deserve to be free.
Yeah, you don't see it. It's just implied that she's like, I will free you after
She
this.
said she was going to free them.
But then they
never brought it up again.
Yeah.
Well,
You just have to take
there's
the
2 wolves
implication.
inside of you.
There are 2
Yeah.
wolves.
One knows the end of this book and the other doesn't. What do we think?
I genuinely liked this book.
Yeah.
Like, in a way I don't usually like books for this podcast. The first part was frustrating, but once you find out about Harold, the story gets so much better. The romance gets sidelined and it basically becomes a horror novel, in my opinion. Like, you find out all this like psychological warfare that he's been enacting and all these people who don't know it's happening. And then, like I said, he literally becomes a monster. You have no idea who this man is or where he came from. You never know who he is.
Nope, never.
Plus, you know, there's a zombie army. I didn't expect much after the first book, but I thought this was great. I also feel the need at this point to clarify that I am not like some sort of white nationalist or into Norse heathenry or anything like that, because that does have a tendency to be super fucking, number one, made up, not historically accurate, and also racist.
Yeah.
I just find the culture to be interesting. I find it to be fatalistic in a way that's fun, like the whole concept of Norse mythology and culture, because it's kind of built around the fact that destruction is inevitable. They also have great monsters.
Yeah.
Also, my other special interest is the Black Death of the 14th century. So I like it dark.
Yeah, she does. She really does. If you've been to her apartment, you know.
Yeah.
Got a lot of skulls.
Also, really enjoyed this book. I was not expecting the storyline to get this wild or horror-esque. Like, when I picked it up, thinking to myself, this is a continuation of Fate, Inked in Blood. Okay, what are we gonna do here? And then this shot out at me. I was like, damn. Nor was I expecting the romance to get pushed off to a distant B plot in favor of all that action. It was great. I'm not that into action scenes, to put it mildly, but these are really compelling and easy to follow, so I really liked that too. It was good all around for me, so solid 5 stars. I enjoyed it. This is the romantasy I want in the world, even though, you know, Frey's an idiot and all those plans sucked.
Yeah.
Anna, you didn't put your notes in.
I know. I'm just realizing I didn't put it in. I knew there was something about this podcast that I was forgetting, and it was this. So you're just going to hear me raw and unfiltered. And I have mixed feelings about this. I'm sorry. It ended up being fine. The book was fine. I don't like how fucking rude everyone was. I don't like how fucking stupid everyone was. They were just mean. Everyone was just mean all the time. And I said this in the first book that we like, the first one, A Fate, Inked in Blood. Maybe that's just like the Viking culture. I have no idea. Not for me. I like the passive aggressiveness of real life. Everyone was mean in this book. Everyone was dumb in this book, and it just became so much worse in the second half. And I would have DNF'd it if I didn't have to read this for this podcast and take notes. I'm gonna be honest. Even the twist, it made sense. It was fun. Like, but then it just kept getting more fucking annoying. Like, they were stuck on this island, and then they had to go to hell, and then they came back, and then they were over here, and then that failed, and then they had to go back to hell, and then that failed, and then they had to do all this stuff. And in the first book, I remember saying that it was really repetitive. Don't.
I'm like, yes.
Make
yes,
your faces
yes.
at
You're
me.
describing a book with the plot right
It
now.
was amazing. I loved it. Keep going.
Yeah, keep going. You're entitled to your opinions.
The first book was really repetitive. They like went somewhere, fought some people, went back, argued, went somewhere, fought some people, went back. Like, this book does the same thing. They go to hell, save some people, fight some people, go back to hell, save some people, fight some people, etc. It just felt really repetitive. I will say, though, listening to Tabitha go on and on about her like academic studies and papers about Norse mythology, I do think this author did like a pretty good job like tying like it all together. Do wish you would have explained Blood Eagle for those of us who have never seen Midsummer.
It is weird that she didn't describe it at all.
Yes, not at all. 'Cause I remember thinking that every time it came up. Anyways, did I like it? No. But was it good? Begrudgingly, yes.
Okay.
You know, one of the things that you'd have to actually do for the Blood Eagle is you cut through the muscle groups that allow you to expand and contract your rib cage. So, like, you wouldn't stop breathing.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So who are we?
I would say probably, I know there's a million characters.
So
And I like to think I'm not a stupid asshole.
Yeah.
So I think I maybe Saga, the real Saga,
Yeah.
like having to stick around, limping your way through, trying to get people to listen to you, and then topping it all off by beating the shit out of a man.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, Saga's relatable. Saga is probably all of us.
No,
so
not me.
not you.
Sorry.
So yeah, no, I want to pick Saga too, like the real Saga, because this summer's
Is
been
that
a
allowed?
professional night. Oh yeah,
I don't
you
think
did
we've
it
ever
last
done
time.
that before.
Oh my god,
We
yes,
did?
we have. We
Two of
have.
us picked the same character
Yeah,
before?
We did.
I don't remember it. Okay, I'm sorry.
It's allowed. There are no rules. Remember?
Yeah, that's true.
so,
Fine, you're allowed.
Yeah, it's been a professional nightmare. I think me and also Tabitha this whole summer.
That's
and
true.
I would love to fantasize about beating up a certain man, or many actually, because lots of them are behind my professional nightmare. So yeah, I feel her deeply right now, and that's who I am currently. You go for it.
I would like to say I'm Bjorn, just because I think my frustration with everyone being fucking stupid in this book really felt relatable when he got so angry and was like crashing out about how like Odin is the dumbest person ever and why would he ever want to do this, blah 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 blah. I was like, yes, scene, but and you're gonna laugh at me, I think I'd actually be Steinen. I don't want to fight. I just want to sing my little song and I just want to cry in a corner and I don't want to talk about all my fears. I want to read a happy book and I want people to be nice to me. That's it. Done.
That's fair. Yeah, fair enough.
Thanks. If you have a hot take or a book you'd like us to recap, you can message us on our socials. You can find the links in our show notes. If you like us, please rate us and leave reviews. That makes us so happy. I do realize right now that we forgot to mention that we do have a Ko-fi. So if you liked my incessant rambling and Tabitha's academic papers and Maura's talk of horses,
yeah, Mara's talk of horse pussy.
yeah, I was going to say that, and then I was like, maybe we don't have to be that
You have to be that explicit for this podcast. That's what makes it funny.
That's true. So if you want to buy us a little coffee, just to be nice, that'd be nice. But times are rough and tough, and we get it out there. But anyways, we love you. What? If you like us, please rate us.
I like you as a friend.
Yeah.
No, listen, we love all of our subscribers and everybody who comments and
as
the
a
ones
friend.
who no, we love you all.
Lilas is what I'm going to say. Love you like a sister, even if you don't identify that way. Anyways, you all make us so happy. Until next time, bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.